What a treat we have in store tonight in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Great baseball. And it doesn't hurt that it's dollar hot dog night either here tonight. As the month of April winds down, college baseball crunch time begins. This could be a postseason preview. Number 9 Coastal Carolina. The Chanticleers in town to face the number 2 Tar Heels of North Carolina. Both teams look like solid regional hosts for the NCAA tournament. Both could be top 8 national seeds, which would guarantee home field through the Supers. D1 Baseball released its new field of 64 projections today. They have North Carolina as the number 4 overall seed. Coastal isn't a top 8, but they're a host, so that makes tonight big. Alongside Chris Burke, I'm Clay Matvick. Great to have you with us here tonight in Chapel Hill. This is not your prototypical Tuesday night midweek. We generally don't get these. And this game has postseason implications. Certainly both teams could be helped as far as the resume goes. And when you talk Coastal, a win tonight would be huge.
It would. You're on the road against the number 2 team in the country. So trying to build that RPI resume back up into the top 8 so they could potentially be home all the way through Supers. Last year they got to Omaha by winning on the road. They'd like to do it at home this year. And, of course, North Carolina, one of the hottest teams, one of the best teams in the country. Both these teams could find their way back to Omaha for sure.
Both of these teams have special pedigrees. We have seen them in Omaha in recent years. Of course, Coastal last year, the national runners-up.
Yeah, both these teams are used to being there at the end of the season. North Carolina has done everything but win the whole thing. Twice runner-up, 8 times since 2006, a team that has consistently been to the College World Series. And for Coastal Carolina, they won it all. Their first time going to the College World Series. Last year, it looked like they might do it again, but fell short to LSU in the finals. Both these teams have championship pedigree. Both look poised to make another deep postseason run.
Jackson Rose, true freshman left-hander, will make his 5th start for North Carolina. This is a young guy they like a lot. He's been good as of late.
Yeah, he's been emerging. You know, a freshman who really getting his feet wet early in the season, but is starting to come on. You'll see fastball, slider, changeup, and he's really tough on left-handers. They're hitting less than 140 against him.
A little bit of a cool night tonight in Chapel Hill as we're underway, and the first pitch is away. The Dean Mijos, who's been at the top of the order the entire season for Coastal. Here's the lineup for Kevin Schnall, second season as head coach.
Yeah, Mijos one of 5 returners from last year's College World Series team that are in the lineup from a regular standpoint. 5 of these guys started in the finals last year for Coastal Carolina.
1-1 pitch, fouled back, 1-2 to Mijos.
Think about that for a second. Well, you talk about experience, right? I mean, 5 of these dudes were there for the entire run, all the way to the last series of the season. That's a big part of why they're right back in the mix again this year.
1-2, stays away. A little surprising, though, that Mijos is the only one hitting over 300 in the lineup here tonight. Again, they've been beat up by injuries, and that certainly affected things.
Well, I think part of it, too, is, Clay, it's a group of guys that they're not the most prospecty bunch, and so some of the things they do that impacts winning aren't necessarily quantifiable on the stat sheet, but it's just a group that's been through the battles and knows how to win tight ball games, especially.
Infield shaded to the left side, and that misses downstairs. So right out of the gate here, a full count for Jackson Rose. Went 2 1/3 in his start last week against High Point. Kind of auditioning for a weekend spot. This is a big night for the young man. Payoff pitch. So Coastal Carolina comes into the night with 30 wins, 17-4 in the Sun Belt, 4 games ahead of Southern Miss and App State. You know, right in the thick of things where they want to be when it comes to the national picture, the conference picture. But again, it hasn't been the year I think they'd hoped for, especially when it comes to keeping people healthy. Again, the 3-2, and that's upstairs. Mijos is aboard.
Well, now the fun begins. When you play against Coastal Carolina, everything is in the playbook against these guys, and you get a leadoff walk, and there is no telling where this offense will go from here. Because Kevin Schnall, it's like an East Coast style of the old West Coast small ball. It's whatever it takes, and every guy on his team can bunt for a hit. Almost every guy in this lineup can steal a base. They do a number of different things to attack you offensively.
Fully expect Barthol to advance the runner with the bunt. Puts it down, but it's going to be pushed foul. 52 sack bunts this year for Coastal Carolina, and his second most in the country.
Yeah, almost surprised that Nicholson's not playing even more in. I mean, you know the playbook here. You got no responsibilities at third base. Left-hander's probably not going to swing and hit one by you. So if I was Nicholson, I would crowd him even a little bit more over third base.
You look at those numbers, you think small ball, but when it's Coastal, it's schnall ball.
Schnall ball, love it.
The 0-1 here to Barthol. Flash bunt again, pitch not workable, so it's 1-1. To the two-hole hitter who was a freshman All-American in 2023, now in his fourth year in the program. This is great to see, Chris. You don't see a lot of guys sticking around for 4 years anymore in the current landscape in college baseball.
Coastal's got a few of them. There's again, a lot of longevity and experience in this program.
Rose will take a peek over there at Mijos, who's aboard after a leadoff walk. Coastal took 2 out of 3 from Texas State and Conway over the weekend, their 15th straight Sun Belt Series win. Infield double play depth, and bunt right back to the pitcher. Stumbles a little bit. His only play to first. I wonder if he had fielded it cleanly, if he had a chance to get Mijos the lead runner.
I think he stumbled because he was thinking what you're thinking, Clay. I think, watch here, he puts his foot in the ground with an aggressiveness, like he's trying to load up that back leg and rip it to second base, but he wisely changed his mind. Once you slip, no reason to try to be a hero. And he puts on the brakes and gets the man at first base.
Mijos in scoring position for Walker Mitchell, the third baseman. Another returning starter from that Omaha team a year ago. First pitch from the left-hander, swung out and missed. This guy's been very steady, Chris.
Yeah, steady. I mean, look at the RBIs. 36 ribbies with no homers. I mean, that's hard to do. That's a bunch of big 2-out knocks from the junior third baseman.
What you don't see on those numbers, the walks. Leads the team with 24 of those. And tied him up, 0-2. It's an interesting offense all around. Team average just 264, but they figure out so many ways to beat you. Already a runner in scoring position, 1 out here in the first inning. First strikeout for Jackson Rose, 2 away.
When we talk about the freshman emerging, you're pitching to a hole here. Walker Mitchell has kind of a low to high bat path. And you see that barrel just below the plane of that fastball, and Jackson Rose with the ability to climb the ladder and execute a fastball at the top of the zone. Pretty heady stuff from a freshman.
I'll bring up Rex Watson. San Diego transfer, team leader in homers and runs batted in. He's been slumping a little bit last 10 games or so. He has a chance to put the shots on top here in the first.
Yeah, I mean, the numbers are pretty healthy, right? You look at the number 5 in the Sun Belt, ribbies, and 11 home runs. But even more so when you think about the fact that he's had a goose egg in the last 10. This kid was on pace to hit 20 home runs. Still might get hot and do it, but he's been quite a find out of the transfer portal.
Jackson Rose walking the leadoff man, but he's battled here. It's a big strikeout of Mitchell, now trying to get out of the first inning unscathed. Number 2 team in the country at home against a top 10 opponent on a Tuesday night. Sat off the plate, maybe a little low as well. 2-1 here to Watson. You don't see a lot of California transfers heading to Coastal Carolina.
Well, you got to believe that's one of the benefits of playing in the College World Series Finals, right? The national exposure you get, that you're able to get a freshman who had a monster year on the West Coast to transfer literally across the country.
2-1, and now it's 2-2. That's the pitch I think Rose was trying to make a pitch ago, and now it's even at 2-2.
Well, we talked about him being really tough on left-handers, and a big reason why is because he's going to throw that breaking ball to the outer edge.
Mijos at second. 2 down for Watson. Puts it in play. Bounding ball into center field. Mijos will come in to score the first run of the game. Prototypical Coastal Carolina baseball. The leadoff man walks. They find a way to get him in. It's the 48th run batted in for Watson. It's 1-0.
Yeah, it's just get them over, get them in. And little surprised Carolina isn't shifted here. A team that shifts as much as anybody in college baseball. It's funny, Clay, we're not used to seeing 3 hoppers up the middle be base hits anymore, but that's a ground ball that's not necessarily smoked back up the box, but gets the job done, and Coastal strikes first.
Here's the left-handed hitting DH, Jackson Weiner. He is a true freshman, a two-way player. He's from Charleston, has not pitched this year. They really love his bat. They planned on redshirting him, but they saw him take enough BP to say, wait, we can't do that. He has to be in the lineup.
Well, he hits it as hard as anybody. He's hit balls up to 114 this year, which is pretty remarkable that he hits it as hard as anybody on this team as a true freshman. But the fastball's up to 97 off the bump, too. They just feel like he needs a little more seasoning before he's going to be consistently in their mix.
Run in, man at first, 2 outs. And that's a strike, top of the zone. When you talk exit velocity, put it into perspective. What's a number that is average?
Well, I'd say anything over 110 would be considered elite. So if you're hitting the ball over 110 miles an hour, you are in the top 1% of your class in strength. And of course, strength being produced and how fast the ball comes off the bat. That comes in all different shapes and sizes. It could be Mookie Betts, it could be Shohei Ohtani, but your ability to produce high exit velocities, which opens up the field for not just extra base hits, but ground balls getting through the infield, really every type of hit.
Breaking ball 2-2 to Weiner is fouled off.
Most people associate exit velocity with power numbers, and while that certainly helps, it also helps if the ground ball you hit 5 feet to the second baseman's 110 miles an hour. He doesn't have much range. That ball gets by him.
2-2 to the Coastal DH. I'm going to check on the runner Watson. Watson has 10 stolen bases on the year. I don't know where that one was. Well, they did ring him up.
They did ring him up.
A late call from the home plate umpire, Joe Harris. And the inning is over. It's a good one for Coastal. They score first tonight in Chapel Hill. Heels coming up next. Well, a battle of Jacksons tonight. Jackson Rose, the starting pitcher for North Carolina. Jackson Smolitz on the top of the bump tonight for Coastal Carolina. Right-hander, also a freshman, making his 8th career start. 3rd consecutive midweek start.
Yeah, and he's trying to keep the momentum going. Really had a nice outing his last time out, 6 1/3. And the sinker-slider combo is what he will feature. It's all about command with Smolitz, because when he throws strikes, he can do what he did last time out. When he doesn't, it might be a short even for him, especially against a team as disciplined as North Carolina.
And here's that North Carolina lineup, a .289 team batting average. It's not flashy this year. They get it done. They lead the ACC in hit by pitch. 6th in the country in walks. Owen Hall is somebody we're going to be talking a lot about tonight, Berkey. He is a guy who plays a really good center field. He has a 32-game on-base streak.
Yeah, and he's been one of the best hitters in the ACC. Leads the ACC in RBIs in league play. So comes in red hot in the month of April and has been as productive as really any hitter in the conference.
And the first guy to come to the plate for Scott Forbes will be Jake Schaffner, followed by Gavin Gallagher and then Owen Hall. There's Scott. He has been to the national tournament every year as head coach of the Heels. College World Series a couple of years ago when he was the ACC Coach of the Year. Really fun to talk to him, and it was great this morning. He gave us quite a bit of time.
So full of life and energy every time you get a chance to talk to him.
Here's Schaffner, the shortstop. North Dakota State transfer. And as odd as it is to have a transfer from San Diego coming to Coastal, this is just as odd.
You get North Dakota down to Carolina, and you just never know these days, Clay.
2-0.
Two guys that have had a huge impact on their respective clubs as well. And this man right here had a monster year, which is what got him noticed out of North Dakota State at 367. But has followed that up, hitting 344, lead off in the ACC. That is pretty impressive stuff. And he's added power. Just 2 home runs last year, already 5 this season.
Scott Forbes will tell you it's the work he puts in. He just loves his work ethic. 2 balls and a strike to the Carolina leadoff hitter. Thought about it, holds off. It's 3-1. Now remember, Jackson Rose walked the leadoff man for Coastal Carolina, Dean Mijos, who came around to score the first run of the game. Smollett's behind in the count here, 3-1. And now full count. You talked about Smollett's last outing, 6 1/3. Prior to last week, his longest outing was 3 innings. If Coastal could get more than that from him tonight, that'd be something.
Oh yeah, because they're light on the mound. They had a full conference weekend. They got another one coming up.
Back up the middle, the shift is on. The third baseman Mitchell throws across in time to get Schaffner. Long at bat for Schaffner. It's Smollett's work, but he's the first out.
Yeah, and that's what he's going to give you. Just quality at bats. He's going to put the ball in play. And boy, can he get down the line. You watch. Mitchell has to get rid of this thing in a heartbeat. Schaffner just a half step from beating it out. See Coastal with a big shift there.
One out for Gavin Gallagher, the captain, who started all 61 games at third base for Carolina last year. Has made a seamless move to second base this year. Now, the numbers are down for Gallagher this year when he hit 325, 17 homers, and 68 a year ago. But the offense is starting to pick up again. He drove in 6 runs in Game 3 against Duke this past weekend. And so if that's any indication, here's a guy who could get hot at the right time.
Oh, and he has been known to do that. One of the best postseason players in college baseball over the last 2 seasons. And, you know, he might have 8 homers right now. You might look up in the middle of May, he might have 15. He's that kind of hitter.
1-1 to the junior. Get on the hands. It's going to be a tough play for Mitchell. Makes it look real easy. A couple of 5-3 putouts here in the first for Carolina. 2 outs for Hall. He is a special player. Center fielder, 3-hole hitter, the junior from Alexandria, Virginia.
Yeah, he has just been incredible. Transfer from George Mason. Look at the numbers in April, folks. Almost hitting 500. He's hitting 13 of 15. Lit it up here last weekend. And we talked about the RBIs. He is literally leading the ACC by 8. It's not even close in conference games. Has been so clutch for this club.
Smollett's pitches to him with 2 outs and starts him with a strike on the outside corner. Hall drove in 63 runs for George Mason a year ago, and you just talked about it. I mean, poised to blow right past that number.
Yeah, no, he's I mean, you just look at 4 home runs and 55 RBIs. That means you are doing a lot of work with runners in scoring position. How about 465? I mean, you talk about just getting to a different place from an approach and a mindset standpoint. The ability to do that, we're going on, 2.5 months into the season, and he's hitting at that kind of clip, sitting right in the middle of the lineup. What a luxury for Scott Forbes.
1-1 pitch. Stays away. 2-1.
I tell you, I'm impressed with Smoltz. I can see why he struggles with his command. I mean, that thing's running 17 to 20 inches. So
and it's on the same parallel.
Yes, and so for him to get that thing to start over the plate, he almost has to throw it at Hull's front hip.
2 outs. 1-0 Coastal. And another one that's a big miss. 3-1. You mentioned a Coastal thin on the mound. What kind of a leash does he get tonight?
I think probably longer than, say, in a weekend start, because they know they're a little light in their bullpen right now.
And he works it back full.
Plus, with one thing with a guy like Smoltz is because the sinker is so electric, he feels like he can always work out of trouble. If he walks 2 guys, you're only 1 pitch away from a double play ball.
Deep breath from the freshman. Trying to have a clean first inning here against Carolina. Line to left. Is that going to stay up? It will. Pato comes in and makes the catch. So it's a 1-2-3 first for the freshman Jackson Smoltz. We have played 1. Coastal leads it 1-0. North Carolina down a run here on this Tuesday night as we go to the second inning. Coastal with a 1-0 lead. North Carolina hasn't lost a midweek game since February.
They hadn't lost much of anything.
No, they really haven't, but this isn't a typical midweek game. Number 2 team in the country, North Carolina, already 36 wins, 5th best start in program history through 45 games. You can see what they've done in recent years with their starts.
I think we'd say that's a good sign. Is that fair? 3 out of 4, 75% is pretty good trend line.
Jackson Rose gave up a run in the first inning. He's going to face 6, 7, and 8 to start here in the Coastal second. Domenico Tazi, Logan Pato, and Colby Thorndike. I think Coastal wins the name game tonight.
You do.
Some good ones in here. Domenico Tazi, Dom, if you will, was the primary backup catcher to Caden Bodine last year. Might have been the best catcher in the country a season ago.
Yeah, the captain of that club, first-round pick. Big shoes to fill, but they've kind of had a two-headed monster here at Coastal behind the plate. And Tazi and Estep have done it really well. 9 home runs between the 2 of them, and done a really nice job from a receiving and handling the staff.
And Kevin Schnall, a former catcher himself, he's going to keep an eagle eye on the
That's right.
catching position. Really pleased with those guys. It's up and out. Full count here. Rose walked Dean Mijos to start the first inning, and it resulted in a run scoring. Trying to avoid the same fate here to start the second. 3-2 to Tazi. Lost him.
Well, young Mr. Rose, the recipe to beat the Chanticleers is keep the leadoff man off base. And so this is now 2 innings, 2 times the leadoff man has reached. And it just makes life difficult because, again, it doesn't matter what part of the lineup they're in. They're going to make you defend the small game.
Tazi 1 for 2 and stolen base attempts this year. Doesn't have a lot of attempts because he hasn't played a ton. And this is Blagan Paydo. Big part of that run to Omaha last year. Starting to come out of a season-long funk. He was the hero on Saturday with a big home run, bottom of the 9th. Came with 2 outs, hit a walk-off blast. Game 2 Saturday against Texas State. And that bunt attempt goes foul. So now 2 strikes here. Coastal's aggressive, especially when it comes to moving runners. What do they do here with 2 strikes in Paydo?
Well, I think they'll let him hit, but you know they're always looking for a dirt ball read. You never know if it gets back to 2-2. Could they? I know Tazi hasn't really run this year, but you just never know with Kevin Schnall. They're always looking for an opportunity to take the next base. But you talk about Paydo getting hot, hitting that walk-off home run. The best version of this team has Paydo playing at a high level, and it's been a struggle up until this point for him this season, but they really believe in the talent. Last year hit 267, 8 home runs. This year just hasn't gotten going.
I don't think any Coastal fan can forget the Auburn Regional and Paydo. He had a big game. Hit 2 home runs in game 1 of that Super.
They certainly, the fans remember what you do in June. So if he's got a big finish left, that's all anybody will remember about this year.
The 0-2 pitch. Making Winslow behind the plate tonight, as he generally is for North Carolina. He's got a hose. North Carolina has allowed only 15 stolen bases all year.
There's a couple programs that they know how to produce catchers.
1-2. Paydo looks at that pitch. He got rung up. It is a late strikeout call again for Joe Harris. We're just going to have to get used to that. That's the way he does it. And there is 1 out. That's a big strikeout for Jackson Rose.
So I think he's saying it, Clay. He's saying it. He's just real cool with his motion. So you notice the hitters don't look like it's late because they're hearing strike 3, whatever the call is, right? But for us, we're kind of left in suspense.
It's like being at the movies here.
The answer is?
So a walk and a strikeout for Jackson Rose as he deals now to Colby Thorndike. Another guy who has kind of struggled at the plate this season. You see, he was great in the postseason last year, too, in the regional. He is starting to turn it on lately as well.
Drove in 48 runs last year, Clay.
So this is a dangerous 8-hole hitter. It's a guy who's done it in the past, just hasn't had the kind of success this year that he expected. But he can get it done. And as the weather gets hotter here, when we get into May, his bat could get hot too.
Whoa.
Winslow.
Caught a spike there, I think Jackson Rose did. But think about this, and this is funny when you talk to Kevin Schnall, you kind of get this vibe. If you told him that he wouldn't have Carbone, Johnson, and Fluky essentially for the entire season, and that Paydo and Thorndike would be struggling, and they would be 30-13 and 17-4 in the Sun Belt, I think he'd take that.
He'd have to take it. Absolutely.
I mean, so now you're not getting Carbone and Johnson back, but you do have Fluky back. And you got to believe Paydo and Thorndike have a run in them. So if you think about it from that perspective, there's a lot to be optimistic about if you're a Chanticleer fan here down the stretch.
2-1 pitch. Nice job hitting that ball the other way. Thorndike. A smart shot to left. 2 on, 1 out. And here comes Coastal in the second inning, leading by a run. So let's talk about those injuries a little more in depth. And there have been a lot of them. Still, they're right where they need to be. We talked about Cam Flukie pitching again. And their leading hitter, Trace Mazan, he could be back soon, maybe as early as this weekend. They're actually only 2 games behind last year's pace, and they have the exact same conference record as they did a year ago. So even with all those key injuries, here they are again.
Right, I didn't even mention Mazan. And so, I mean, you talk about a guy with over 1,000 OPS who's out for this club, hitting 386. And Cam Flukie, who coming into the season could have been a top 10 pick. I mean, there's a lot of optimism that this team's best days are still in front of them.
Shortstop Ty Barango. Very good shortstop. In the 9-hole tonight. He's also played some first base in his time at Coastal Carolina. One and 2. Cam Flukie, what a baby face. But he is fierce on the mound.
Oh, goodness. Is he ever. Well, he was special last year in Omaha.
Preseason first-team All-American. And it's just been a tough year. He got hurt right away first week in February. Pitched 2 really good innings and had 4 strikeouts in his outing on Sunday. He's going to pitch again this coming Sunday as they go to Georgia Southern, and Kevin Stahl's hoping they can get maybe 3, possibly 4 innings out of him.
Well, if you look at the timeline, it really stacks up perfectly to be like full go for the regionals. You got, 2 innings last week, 3 innings the next week, 4 the next, 5 the next, maybe 6 in the conference tournament. Again, depends on how he's feeling and can he continue to progress with his body. But if so, you're talking about he could be ready to roll for game 1 of the regionals.
Winslow, nice stop. And full count here on Barango. Top of the order, Dean Mijos on deck. Coastal already leading 1-0, looking for more. Bullpen tonight has some options for North Carolina, and already there's activity in it. Oh, it's thrown into center field, but almost so hard that there's no chance for Tazi to advance, and Owen Hall was Johnny on the spot backing up. And you don't want to run on Owen Hall, not in his face anyway, like that would have been.
No, that was a wise decision there. But I like them keeping the runner close here. Again, a lot of things Coastal can do here, full count and 1 out.
Popped up. We'll see if Eric Paulson has a play. The first baseman has it for the second out. That is a big out to give Barango. And so Mijos will come up with 2 down. As you look at McDuffie, Walker McDuffie, freshman All-American last year. This year, 6-1 with 4 saves. He's been a key piece in that Carolina bullpen.
You see him making that motion there for the slider. And you got to deal with that when he comes in the game. Looks like he'll get his chance right here.
So 1 time through the order for the freshman Jackson Rose.
Carolina in an interesting spot with their schedule where they've got a midweek game tomorrow, but no conference weekend this weekend. So they can maybe use a little more of their premium arms here in midweek game because they don't have the volume to cover this weekend.
We talked about no Friday, Saturday. Duke will come in on Sunday for a non-conference game. And they just got done playing Duke over the weekend. And Scott Forbes is going to indeed bring A new arm in, and it'll be Walker McDuffie, the bespectacled Walker McDuffie. We'll talk about him when we come back. We're going to see some high leverage arms in not a very high leverage situation here tonight for North Carolina, off and on, we expect. And here's the first time. Walker McDuffie, a sophomore from right here in North Carolina, who has been dynamite out of the bullpen the last couple of years for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, he's been incredible this year. 57 Ks in 44 and a third innings. It's one of the best breaking balls in the game, and he's going to come at you with it at a higher percentage than anything else. So it's 45% slider, 39% fastball, and then you'll see him sprinkling a changeup too. So you know, right on right, you're going to have to deal with that nasty slide piece, and he's used to coming in with runners on base. So this is a tailor-made situation for Walker McDuffie.
Yeah, he's used to coming in the 8th and 9th. Here he is in the second inning with 2 outs and 2 on for Coastal Carolina. Top of the order, Mijos at the plate. A walk and a run scored for Dean. McDuffie has been outstanding in the month of April. Can he keep it going here right at the end of the month? Tazi at second, Thorndike at first, and that's a strike at the bottom of the zone. Floats in there at 83. It's 1-1.
Hey, there's a first look at the breaking ball.
One pitch. And now it's 1-2. A couple of other guys we might see out of the bullpen tonight. Matthew Mateus, who's second on the team in appearances. That wouldn't be a surprise.
No.
But Jason DeCaro, their Friday night guy, we might see him in a relief role tonight. Just missed. So now it's 2-2 because there isn't a series this weekend in the ACC. They're thinking, why not bring DeCaro on, get him some work tonight?
Yeah, and again, this puts Coastal Carolina in a bind because it's not normal Tuesday night when you get to see all of a team like this best arms.
Oh, what a slider there by McDuffie. Gets the strike out of Mijos, and Coastal will strand 2 in the second inning.
Did I tell you have a good breaking ball or what, Clay? Look at this sweeper. That thing breaks 1.5 feet. Mijos has no chance, and Carolina gets off the field.
It's time for another round of Ramsey's Trivia. Time for question number 2. Get those phones out. Here is your question. A second costume mascot was introduced in 2015 as the son of Ramsey's. What's the name of that mascot? Yeah. those answers in.
Ramesses on Dollar Dog Night at the Bosch. How many have you had already?
I'm still in waiting mode. Got Chick-fil-A still sitting.
Oh, okay.
Solid. Thanks for asking, though. You offering?
You look fit. I haven't seen you in a while. You must be keeping up on the program. Staying away from the Dollar Dogs.
All in that program you sent me, Clay.
Macon Winslow, Eric Paulson, Cooper Nicholson for the Heels, the #2 team in the country, down a run as they went 1-2-3 in the first against the true freshman Jackson Smolitz. Right-hander making his 8th career start. Challenge for him this season, Smolitz, with all the shuffling on the pitching staff, just finding a consistent role.
Well, and just finding consistency even within the role that they've had set out for him. And it's just that catch-22. It's an explosive sinker. That's why he's out on the mound, is because they see the potential and the ability for this young man to really be a meaningful guy for them for years to come. But part of the blessing of getting that much horizontal movement is the difficulty of just consistently finding the right release point to be able to land it in the strike zone.
Falls behind Winslow 3-1. Veteran catcher for Carolina, big acquisition from Duke in the offseason. Played 100 games for the Blue Devils the last couple of years.
Have we had that yet in hoops? Have we had
that doesn't happen around here.
Tar Heels in hoops?
No, that just doesn't happen.
Once
that would be unforgivable.
You just never know. It's like when Johnny Damon went to the Yankees. It was like, okay.
I didn't even know you could do that. Hadn't happened since Ruth. 3-2. Macon Winslow, the cleanup hitter. Swung on and missed. Got out of the glove of Tazi. We'll have to do some dirty work. Throws down to first. So 4 up, 4 down for Smolitz. Out to a good start here tonight.
It's looking awfully impressive. Look at the depth. That is a fastball, Clay. It looks like a split. I mean, that thing bounces right behind home plate. And you're getting a veteran hitter to swing and miss at a fastball that bounces. That's how much depth.
Trying to get some communication before he faces Eric Paulson, the junior from New York. Big transfer from Stony Brook. Swings at the first pitch and it eats up Walker Mitchell. Tried to field that to his side. It got under his glove. We'll see how they score it. But Paulson is aboard with 1 out, first base runner for the Heels.
Boy, Mitchell's gotten off to a great start in this game, but that's a double play there, Clay. He plays it off to the side against a guy like Paulson that can't really run, and all that's fine and good if you catch it. When you don't, it stings.
I'm going to give him a hit.
Okay.
Cooper Nicholson at the plate. Nicholson at third base again tonight for North Carolina. Team high 10 home runs.
And that's one of those really just block it up and pick it up to first base. But again, easy for me to say. I'm sitting up here in a booth. That ball's probably hit 100 miles an hour. But I think if he had that one to do over again, he'd have just played catcher on that one.
Oh, he roped it. There's no doubt about it. I'm sure that Mitchell heard it going by.
Yeah, no, that ball's smoked for sure. So Smolitz pitching from the stretch for the first time.
North Carolina doesn't run the bases quite as well as Coastal does, but they still they're aggressive on the base paths. With that said, Paulson not one of their guys.
No.
In fact, doesn't have an attempt this year.
Yeah, number 7 in the ACC in stolen bases. They do have 51 bags. So, but like you said, Paulson not really on that radar.
1-2 to Nicholson. Lifts this one, foul, and it's going to drift out of play.
With this sinker of Smollett's, though, it's just even when you give up a base runner, you just feel like you're always one pitch away. And I tell you, I don't know how many. You know, statistically speaking, he throws about a third of breaking balls. I don't really remember seeing him too many breaking balls. It feels like sinker, sinker, sinker so far in this ball game.
Smollett's long set. The 1-2 pitch, and just got a piece of it. We talked to Scott Forbes about the hitter, Cooper Nicholson, and he says that this guy has the most raw power on the team. Said it before, he's leading the team in bombs, and another guy that doesn't get cheated at the plate.
It's a strong dude now. Built like a high school fullback.
It's way outside. He hit 41 homers at Iowa Central Community College the last couple of years. And Iowa Central, that's good JUCO ball.
Yes,
a lot of great players coming out of there year to year. Here's another one of them, Cooper Nicholson. 2-2 pitch. Oh boy, look out. Stays fair, it's gone. You bet, goodbye, home run. Just inside the foul pole. Cooper Nicholson sends his 11th over the wall. 2-run shot, and Carolina has the lead for the first time tonight.
Well, you talked up his power, Clay, making you look really smart right about now. That's how you get below a sinker. Watch him get the barrel below that sinker and talk about staying connected. That is a strong dude right there, a no-doubter just inside the foul pole. And they finally starting to get some good swings here off of Smollett's. That's now a couple really hard-hit balls this inning.
We'll have to get some diagnostics on that one. That had some velocity coming off the bat too.
Yeah, that was the old no-doubter. The only thing up in the air was would it stay fair.
Tyler Howe, hard-nosed true freshman from Huntersville, North Carolina. Hits a ground ball here to Barthol at second, and there are 2 away. Now, North Carolina doesn't hit a ton of home runs, but you know, they've got guys up and down the lineup who can do it.
Well, and Scott Forbes feels like there's more power there. It's a team that's 3rd in the league in doubles.
Yep.
But 14th in homers. So they just haven't gotten, you know, they've been driving the ball, just not getting the ball out of the ballpark. And he thinks part of that's the ballpark has played big here the first half of the season.
And a lot of it's been because of the weather. It's been a cool spring, and when it's a little bit cooler here at the Bosch, ball doesn't quite travel as far. The designated hitter, Colin Hynek. Here's a guy who hit 18 home runs a year ago, but when he was at Georgia State. Has 5 this season.
There's a breaking ball.
There it is. 1-2.
Pretty good one, too. Right on the outside edge.
Late break. This is a real test for a freshman pitcher like Smollett's. You know, you give up that 2-run home run, you lose the lead. Now, how do you respond to that?
That's right. Just hang in there. That's the only choice you have. Just hang in there and make the next pitch.
2-2. Uh-oh. That sounded good coming off the bat, but hit a mile high and not quite that deep. Walker Mitchell puts it away, but we have a lead change. Cooper Nicholson, a screamer into the left field corner for his 11th home run of the year, 2-run shot. Now 2-1 Tar Heels here in Chapel Hill. Two-run homer for Cooper Nicholson. Went 395 feet off the bat. And officially, according to Chris, what'd you say?
I just guesstimated about 395 or so. Clay, you okay with that?
No, what was the exit velocity?
Oh, I'm going to say 105 to 110.
That's official. That's official. We're going with that.
Okay. I've seen a few homers sail over my head, and I'm just going to throw that out there.
You know a thing or two about judging. Blake Barthol, Walker Mitchell, Rex Watson for the Chanticleers. 2, 3, and 4 in the order. And this is going to get out of play. Barthol had a sacrifice bunt that put Mijos in scoring position in the first inning. Rex Watson was able to drive him in. That's what Coastal does. They get on, get him over. That was the 53rd sack bunt this year as a team for the Chanticleers. And the 15th of the year for Barthol. Came into the night second in the country in sacrifice bunts. It takes a selfless player, to do it.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes it takes away from the sexy stats. But the thing is, Barthol's really good at it. In fact, might be the best bunter in the country.
Well, I think it's just a staple of this program. There's a piece of playing in this program where it's just part of your job description.
And you can do that, too. Rolls past Paulson. Gallagher was there, too. Didn't have a play. Seeing eye single for Barthol. He's aboard to start the third inning for the Chanticleers.
It's a couple ground balls they've had find holes.
Now batting third baseman number 5, Walker Mitchell.
Boy, he's playing right on the line, isn't he, Clay? Eric Paulson is almost standing on the line, a position you would typically associate with no doubles at the end of a game. And that ball, when it left his bat, looked like it was going to be a pretty routine ground ball. Ends up being a base knock.
Walker Mitchell was a strikeout victim his first time up against Jackson Rose. He's going to bunt. Walker McDuffie off the mound, has one play. It's to first. They get the out. There's another sacrifice. Second tonight for the Chanticleers. Runner in scoring position and 1 out.
Come on, baby.
And again, you don't see this a lot of three-hole. First of all, you don't see a lot of three-hole hitters with a goose egg in the home run column. And second of all, you definitely don't see three-hole hitters that bunt too much in modern baseball. But Coastal Carolina, it's almost like in basketball. We talk a lot about positionless basketball. It's almost the same with this Coastal Carolina offense. It's kind of positionless. It's just any player, anytime, anyhow.
They're all physically similar, too. A lot of guys right around 5'11", 6 feet tall, 200 pounds. Rex Watson has driven in the only run tonight for Coastal Carolina. His 48th run batted in. That's a team high. Great addition for this club out of the University of San Diego. Came down to Coastal and NC State. He decided to transfer. And this is another guy who has a very attacking style at the plate. He's not going up there to make it easy on the pitcher.
No, I mean, this is one of their best sources of power. So he's going to get his A+ swing off. Already has an RBI in this game.
You can see it on his face when he swings, too. I mean,
there's intent.
Yes. There's Barthol leading away from second. 1-run game. Walker McDuffie came on in relief last inning. The 1-2 pitch. Ooh, couldn't hold up. Fouled right into the glove of Winslow for the second out.
That's just a beautiful job by McDuffie. Backdoor breaking ball. He just breaking ball starts off the plate. Then you can see Watson trying with an emergency hack there to stay alive, and the foul tip goes right into the glove of Winslow.
2 down for Jackson Weiner, the designated hitter. With Trace Mazan being out here in recent weeks, we talked about him potentially coming back as soon as this weekend. Weiner has been a valuable bat. It'll be interesting to see how Kevin Schnall works things once Mazan comes back.
Well, nobody likes injuries, but injuries do give you the opportunity to build up the depth of your roster. That is part of the silver lining to losing pieces. And, you know, if Mazan doesn't get hurt, maybe we don't get to see Weiner here in this role.
McDuffie's 0-2, got him. 3-pitch at bat. Weiner goes down. And the inning is over. We have played 2.5 here in Chapel Hill. The Tar Heels leading 2-1 in this top 10 head-to-head.
Doesn't get a lot bigger than this.
Run straight for the breakaway.
Who will emerge? We'll see.
ACC tournament starts May 19th at Truist Field in Charlotte. ACC weekend headlines. How about the Pitt Panthers? We just saw D1 Baseball come out with their projected field of 64. Pitt's in there now.
Yeah.
And, you know, they have been playing really good baseball here as of late.
Yeah, Rentaro Senzaki with a walk-off grand slam. Stanford kind of back in it. They're now 10-11 in the league. And, of course, Georgia Tech just keeps on rolling. Granted, this past weekend was a little more, how should we say, cinematic than it's been for Georgia Tech for most of this season. They had to come back in all 3 games. Just a heartbreaker for Wake Forest. But, man, the ACC has been so entertaining here lately. Just a league with just a ton of good teams, so anything could happen any weekend.
Nine-hole hitter Carter French leading it off here for North Carolina in the third, leading by a run. Tar Heels hosting a top 10 team for the second time in a week and a half. People still talking about that series win over number 2 Georgia Tech. That was fun to watch. Smollett's blows that one past him. It's 2-1. And the Yellow Jackets came into that series hitting .362 as a team. They hit .240 on the weekend. Pitching was really the story for the Tar Heels.
Yeah, I mean they really dominated the first two games of that series. And oh boy,
deep second base Barthol still has enough time for the first out.
Yeah, it looked like maybe a break towards the ball by Thorndike was going to cost them, but plenty of time to get back. But back to North Carolina and Georgia Tech, just it's a big boy heavyweight series. It was kind of billed as the pitching of North Carolina versus the hitting of Georgia Tech. And you talk about a Georgia Tech team that leads the country in runs per game, and they scored 11 runs in 3 games. I mean, that's an awfully impressive job by this North Carolina pitching staff.
Jake Schaffner in the top of the order for the Tar Heels. Rounded out to third. He is 0 for 1. They drew almost 12,000 fans for that series. The interest in North Carolina baseball, I don't know that it's ever been higher.
No, and it's well deserved. It's a program that year in and year out. I mean, don't forget they went to the World Series in '24. They lost in Game 3 of a home super last year. I know they don't like to talk about that around here, but this is a program that, again, back number 2 in the country here late in April. Just a program that now expects to be in Omaha year after year after year.
Strike 2-1. And Scott Forbes, of course, he took over for the great Mike Fox. He's been in this program a long time, 25 years, 6th as head coach. This might be his best team yet.
It certainly could be. The pitching staff is right there, I think, with any pitching staff this North Carolina program has produced. The offense, does it wow you like a Georgia or Georgia Tech or UCLA? No, but there's enough pieces here, certainly when you combine that with a top of the sport pitching staff.
So now Smollett's battles back to fill out the count with the leadoff man Schaffner. First time through the order against Smollett's. North Carolina gets 2 runs on 2 hits. The big blow, that nearly 400-foot home run to the left field corner for Cooper Nicholson. That's the difference in the game right now. Outside, lost him, and there's that pitch. Again, that's been kind of a big miss for him a little bit tonight.
All the two-seam guys, their misses are almost always arm side. So the right-handers throwing that sinker ball, the miss almost always tends to be away to left-handers in towards right-handers, and especially when he's trying to keep the ball away from a lefty, it can get away from him. Again, the struggle for him is just going to be to command all that horizontal movement.
Now he's got to worry about Schaffner, who has 21 stolen bases on the year. That's a team high. Pitch inside to Gallagher, who also grounded out to third. He is 0 for 1. So Smollett's again coming off a career best 6 1/3 innings his last start. But before that, didn't have a lot of length to any of his starts. And this one is driven hard up the middle for a base hit for Gallagher. Schaffner will stop at second. And so it's interesting here, second time through the order, and knowing the history of Smollett's, we're starting to see a little change to the feel here, the way North Carolina is approaching this right-hand.
Well, every veteran lineup is going to look a little more comfortable second time through, especially just with the unique horizontal movement of the fastball of Smollett's. But you get a polished swinger like Gavin Gallagher when he is all connected and synced up. Boy, that is a pretty move. Rocket right back through the box.
Matt Williams is the pitching coach, but this is Kevin Schnall coming out, the 49-year-old reigning Sun Belt Conference Coach of the Year. And because of all the injuries that Coastal has had this year, and still at 30 wins, still leading the Sun Belt Conference. I'd contend that this is even a better coaching job than he did last year when he took them all the way to the national title series.
No, I love the question you asked him today about, you know, comparing year one to year two, and he just feels like he's certainly not trying to act like this year is, you know, been awful by any means. They're in a great position, clearly, but last year's team kind of was smooth sailing. I mean, that group, you know, they were healthy in the front end of the rotation, the back end of the bullpen pretty much posted up every weekend, and it was a veteran offense that performed at a very high level. He just had to kind of keep the train on the tracks. This year, he has had to do a lot of mixing and matching and problem solving.
2 on, 1 out, and facing Owen Hall now. And what did Schnall say to the freshman?
Well, I'm sure this was just a, hey man, let's calm down. Let's realize with that sinker ball you have, you're always one pitch away. And then there's a little bit of reminding him of who's up here. I think Matt Williams got thrown out of last game, so I don't see Matt Williams in the dugout tonight. So it looks like Schnall is going to be taking the mound visit. So I'm sure a reminder too of, hey, this is their best dude with runners in scoring position. What I'm sure he didn't say, Clay, was let's go get 2-0 in the count. I'm fairly certain that wasn't the plan.
I'm sure you're right. 2-0 to Hall. Lifted, long way, left field corner. It's going to drift out of play. Owen Hall, only 4 home runs. But again, 17 doubles, that's a team high. And Scott Forbes thinks the home runs are ready to come in bunches. He's homered each of the last 3 conference weekends, including a grand slam in that Georgia Tech series that we were talking about. He has 2 on here. Could really change the feel of this game with 1 swing. And now it's 3-1. There is no wind at all right now. Cool night, but pleasant.
Yeah, just a pretty spring night. And Owen Hall right here on a heater, 2 dudes on. It feels like when you're going good, you're always ahead in the count.
3-1 pitch, and now full count.
Boy, beautiful pitch right there. There's 2 things that seem to be true when you're going good. You're either ahead in the count or when you get behind, the pitcher messes up. And that's just part of being hot. And Owen Hall right there with a nice take. You can tell he is just really locked in on the pitch he's looking to hit.
Another foul ball. This is the 5th 3-2 count for Smolitz. So he's battled here. Would love to shoot a double play ball and get out of this inning. See, the first time through the order did just fine. Second time through here, it's looking a little different right now. Pato, easy play, and that's a huge out for Jackson Smolitz.
Boy, Hall, 2 at bats, 2 rockets to left field, and he's kind of taking a peek out at Smolitz like, man, you hope you know you got lucky there. And Owen Hall feeling really good, as he should be, but Smolitz gets the job done, falls behind the count, but battles back to get a big out against a guy that doesn't make too many outs with runners in scoring position.
Making Winslow a strikeout victim against Jackson Smolitz his first time around. And he's behind in the count right away here.
That's how you do it right there, Clay. Runners in scoring position, 2 outs.
He's coming right at the middle of this order.
Just land a breaking ball right on the outer third of the plate, work ahead, get them on their heels a little bit.
Tazi has to reach out and stop that one. You know, when you talk to Kevin Schnall, Smolitz was one of the freshmen he really didn't see starting a game like this back in August.
No, they got a lot of freshmen in roles that they didn't necessarily see back in August.
Just missed. 2-1.
But again, that's part of the silver lining from a program standpoint. You wouldn't ask for it, but these are invaluable competitive reps that these youngsters are getting for Coastal this season.
2 on, 2 out. And now it's 3-1. As Tazi again has to keep that from going to the wall.
2 of their top 3 appearances out of the bullpen are from freshmen. And then, of course, you got Smolitz, who's not only made 11 appearances, but this is his 8th start.
Full count. Might have been at the top of the zone, but Joe Harris gives him a strike. And it's full now.
ABS says it's right at the top, Glenn.
Right at the top. And we, of course, had to wait for Harris's call.
Yes. Suspense. I like it.
What an inning for Smolitz. Dances around some traffic, gets a huge strikeout of Winslow to get out of the third unscathed. It stays a 1-run game.
I see you, youngster.
Two on North Carolina. We go to the 4th inning. They just announced a Boshamer Stadium record. They have sold 3,200 $1 hot dogs here tonight. There's
huge.
There's the wrappers. You know, a snake, a rapper's snake. We knew it was going to be a big night.
Hey, there's a lot of smart kids that go to school here. They figured it out. That's impressive.
It was going to be a big Tuesday night here on the ACC network, and it didn't all have to do with baseball. We knew it when we heard it was Dollar Dog Night. Popped up, first pitch, Domenico Tazi into right field. A challenge, but Tar Heels put it away for the first out. So Walker McDuffie, who came on with 2 outs in the 2nd inning, has kept Coastal off the board.
The left fielder, number 22, Lakin Pato.
And he has retired 4 in a row.
Just makes it look easy. Just comes right at you, works quick, 3 quality pitches. He's got answers to both sides of the plate. He's got the slider for the right-handers, the changeup for the left-handers. It's just low-maintenance relievers with plus stuff. Like, they're just invaluable in college baseball.
Lakin Pato was a strikeout victim of Jackson Rose. He pitched an inning and 2/3. He was one of the 2 strikeouts Rose had. He made his 5th start of the year tonight. We knew he wasn't going to be in the game too long, just because there are just so many options available tonight for Scott Forbes with no conference weekend tonight. In fact, just 1 game on the weekend this week.
You got to keep people sharp, right? You got to get people innings, and there's, I guess, some speculation about weather tomorrow, so he's going to get people in the games tonight. Not to mention you're playing a top-ranked RPI opponent, so this is the one you're circling to win.
Yeah, they have a midweek game scheduled with Queens tomorrow. Queens is going to drive in from Charlotte, weather permitting. The weather doesn't look great, so I would assume that if it looks like they're going to get wet, they would be quick to bag that one. One out to Pado, swung on and missed, strikeout. That is the 4th strikeout for McDuffie since coming on. 2 away.
That breaking ball is just not friendly. Amount of chase and whiff he gets, especially right on right from that break ball. You can just tell guys just don't get a good look at it. Don't let the innocent look fool you, Clay. That is a bad dude right there.
Charlie Sheen with the glasses looked meaner. That's not the case with McDuffie.
McDuffie's not. He's not going for the mean look. He's like tricking you. He's trying to like disarm you and then just embarrass you. That's his game.
He's standing up there. He's more likely to hit you with his report card than with a fastball.
It's the old bait and switch, Clay.
Yeah. 0-2 to Thorndike. Kobe Thorndike had a hard hit ball for a base hit. His first time up, went opposite field to left. From Lumberton, North Carolina. Seeing that average slowly creep up into the 230s, but that's filthy. McDuffie, a tidy 4th inning with a couple of strikeouts.
That is just, again, he is not there to be your friend, folks. A nasty changeup. McDuffie is cruising.
You know, he's got the hoodie on, Walker McDuffie, who just threw 10 pitches, 9 of them for strikes to have a clean 1-2-3 4th inning. I don't know that he's done because he does wear the hoodie in the dugout all the time.
It all works, Clark. Just the whole deal works with McDuffie.
You like his image,
all of it,
his brand.
I'm there for it all. Aura, as the kids would say.
He'd be an easy NIL sell.
Yes.
All right, so here we are in the North Carolina 4th inning. Paulson, Nicholson, Howe. This did some damage in the 2nd inning. Paulson had a 1-out base hit. Cooper Nicholson wrapped him in with a 2-run shot to left. That's the difference in the game, that 2-run homer by Nicholson. He'll bat next. These Tuesday night midweek games, and you and I have done a lot of them over the years, a lot of times they're non-conference affairs that don't necessarily have postseason implications. That's not the case here tonight.
No, I mean, obviously both these teams are playing at the top of the sport, but there is some pecking order points on the line, so to speak. And for Coastal, you know, it's interesting talking to Kevin Schnall because you'd think he'd be ecstatic with where his team at. But part of the reason this is a championship program is because they don't have low standards. And in his mind, yeah, they're what is it, 2-3 in their last 5, 5-5 in their last 10. And so even though that resume right there looks fantastic, and there's a bunch of things you could point to say, man, look at that number 10 strength of schedule. You know, 2 games above 500 against the RPI top 25. He's just not crazy about the way they've been playing lately. And so he's really trying to kind of get his team peaking here down the stretch. Not as much worried about the big picture so much as like how we're playing today is the way he put it. And so I think this game is one in which they would love to walk out of here a winner.
We have 7 quad 1 wins. Chance for a big one tonight. Last time Smollett's faced Cooper Nicholson, he watched it fly over that left field wall. It barely stayed fair. His 11th home run of the year.
I think that one thing that I've noticed about almost every great coach, there is a sense of paranoia around that. Like they're only one day away from the whole thing, the bottom dropping out. You know, that it's just, I think it's part of the way they keep their edge. And
never too comfortable.
Never. Kevin Schnall, he was a lot of things today, but comfortable with where his team was not one of them.
Now, with that said, very pleasant to talk to.
Oh, amazing.
Just great guy.
He wasn't grumpy or just, you can tell there is a paranoia that again, they're trying to win the whole thing, right? They're not just trying to squeak into the tournament. And so he just wants his team to get back clicking on all cylinders, and he's hoping their best days are still in front of him.
2-2 pitch, great breaking ball. And how about that? Smolletz comes back, and the guy that hit a 2-run homer the last time they faced, he gets on a breaking ball for a strikeout. Second out here in the 4th.
Again, we haven't seen a ton of breaking balls, but that is a really good one. The ability to put that thing right on the edge to the glove side. You get the fastball, you can run in on right-handers and then throw that sweeping slider away to him. That's a tough combo.
2 outs for the left fielder, Tyler Howe, who grounded out to second. He's 0 for 1. And Kevin Schnall bleeds to you. Big South Player of the Year back in '99 for the Chanticleers, and then longtime assistant to the Hall of Famer Gary Gilmore. And now he's running the show with great success. Ground ball right side, race to the bag. Thorndike didn't know what to do there for a second. Decides to take it himself, and it's a 1-2-3 4th for Smollett's. We're going to talk to Scott Forbes, the Carolina head coach, when we come back. What a great head-to-head top 10 we have for you tonight on the ACC Network as we move to the 5th inning. North Carolina leading 2-1. We bring in Scott Forbes, the head coach of the Tar Heels. And coach, you just don't see these on a Tuesday night very often. An opponent like this coming into your place, very easy to get up for a game like this.
Yeah, no doubt. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, credit to Coastal all the way back with Gilly. They've always come here. We've made some trips there. Coach Schnall and I go way back. He was at Coastal as an assistant when I was at Winthrop as an assistant a long time ago in the Big South. So I have a lot of respect for those guys, and I'm thankful that they came up here. They're always good, and it creates a great atmosphere for our fans.
Coach, you guys have been rolling at a very consistent level throughout the course of the year. We're watching Walker McDuffie deal as he's done so well throughout the majority of this season. What is the back end of the bullpen? What kind of security blanket is that for your club?
Well, obviously, I mean, you played. That puts pressure on the other team if you've got guys that you feel like are really good out of the bullpen, and they've been consistent all year. Walker's been one of our leaders. He's a returner, and we took Ryan Lynch out of the bullpen and made him a starter. So we've had to have some other guys step up, which has been awesome.
And from an offensive standpoint, as you guys get going down the stretch here, Owen Hall has been so spectacular for you guys coming over from George Mason. What have you learned about him that maybe you didn't know coming in?
Tell you, he has the compete factor. I mean, he competes his tail off. He's always confident in the box. He doesn't carry those bad at bats. He hadn't had many of them with him at bat to at bat. And he knows too, like sometimes I've got to hand it off and I have to take that walk. He's gotten better at that, which has allowed him to get on base and steal a base and score for us.
Full count here to Barango as we thank Coach Forbes for joining us. Coach, thanks so much. Good luck the rest of the way tonight and the rest of the season.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you guys a ton.
McDuffie battling Barango here, the 9-hole hitter. 3-2 pitch to second base. Gallagher gobbles it up. And a long at bat for Barango, but he's out. You know, we were talking about Schnall and how he bleeds teal. Well, yeah, you could say the same thing about Scott Forbes. He bleeds Carolina blue. Took over for the great Mike Fox, who retired after the 2020 COVID season. The same standard of excellence has been here since Forbes has taken over. They have not missed the national tournament in a decade.
No, one of the most consistent programs in America. Mike Fox built it up. Of course, Scott Forbes was right here next to him during most of that, and all Scott Forbes has done is kept it going. It really is fascinating, too, how some of these programs have gone about their roster composition, and this North Carolina program no different. Everybody's had to adjust with the times. It does feel like they're one of many teams playing at the top of the sport, Clay, where it's like they're going to develop their pitchers and recruit or portal their position players or their bats. And they continue to be one of the best pitching teams in the league with homegrown talent. And it seems like every year they're kind of remaking their position player group from the portal. And they've done a really good job at not swinging and missing with the guys they've brought in.
Walker McDuffie has retired 8 Chanticleers in a row.
I don't think he's broken a sweat. I mean, you talk about low maintenance. Holy cow.
Nothing in 2 to Barthel. Wastes 1. Starter tonight was Jackson Rose. Goes an inning and 2/3, and it's been the Walker McDuffie show since. They have a lot of options behind him should they need him. I don't know if they're going to need him. Wow, has he been good? 9 in a row shut down by McDuffie. He played 4.5. Coastal down a run. We're going to talk to the Chanticleers bench boss next. Kevin Schnall on the other side of this timeout. Two on North Carolina as we go to the Carolina half of the 5th inning, and it's a pitching change here for the Chanticleers. Right-hander Daniel Parker coming in, and let's bring in Kevin Schnall. And maybe, Coach, you can give us a scouting report on your new pitcher.
Yeah, Daniel Parker, freshman. He's got good stuff, good carry on his fastball, be up to 95. Biggest thing for him is just strike one, getting ahead and being able to manage and attack the zone.
Coach, we've been talking about just the job you've done this season with a team that hasn't exactly been a cruise control managerial job. Talk to us about what you've learned about your team through the adversity of this season.
Well, let's start with saying the job we've done. This is a complete team effort. I'm the head coach. I hold the microphone, and a lot of times I stand in front of the camera, but I play a really small role in our success. We're fortunate to surround myself with an elite staff, a staff that would rival any staff in the country, and I say that with conviction because I really believe in that. But, the bottom line is this team has showed a lot of toughness, and, I don't use that word lightly. It's a tough group, and they've had to overcome a lot of adversity.
Cam Fluke made his appearance after a long time on the shelf. What can we expect from him down the stretch?
Best pitcher in all of college baseball, and I stand behind that. This guy's going to have a long professional career and pitch in the major leagues one day. So we're really fortunate to have him back. He's, not only the best pitcher, but he's a big leader on our club too. So it's good to have him back.
Yeah, Coach, we'll look forward to seeing him again on Sunday. Thank you for your time.
All right, guys, thank you.
Here's a ground ball to short. Nice play by Barango charging to get Colin Hynek to start the Tar Heels 5th inning.
That's a nice start. 1 pitch and 1 out. And Daniel Parker comes in, throws a 2-seamer, runs it right in on the hands of Colin Hynek. Another freshman.
I know it.
Clay is kind of cool, but we got the scouting report from the skipper. A fastball that gets up to 95 miles an hour, and it is heavy fastball usage. Fastball, curveball.
Really enjoyed Smollett's, and now we're seeing Daniel Parker. Smollett's really the one mistake.
Yeah.
That was the home run, and that easily could have been fouled. It did stay fair by a couple of feet, and it's the difference between North Carolina being ahead and being behind. Oh, out of the hand of Tazi. He had to pick it up cleanly to get Carter French, and he couldn't do it. So French is on for the top of the order, and Jake Schaffner.
Yeah, I thought he made the right choice here with French getting down the line. I think this is a bare hand play, Clay, and it just shows you how easy we can take those plays for granted when a player picks that thing up with his bare hand and rips it in one motion, and we don't think much of it. But those plays are much more difficult than oftentimes these guys make them look, and Tazi just whiffs that one, and a bunt hit for Carter French.
Schaffner 0 for 1 with a walk as that's bodied up by Tazi to keep it in front. Let's see how aggressive Carolina is here with French at first base with 1 out. He has 4 stolen bases on the year.
Well, normally you would say this is a green light hit and run opportunity with Schaffner and 1 out and a runner on first base, but Parker doesn't throw a ton of strikes.
Oh, what a catch! And a double play. Inning over. Daniel Parker had very little time to react, puts his glove up. Thank you very much. Twin killing to end the 5th.
Well, that one will erase a rally in a heartbeat as the freshman with the quick reflexes, and Carter French gets caught too far off the base pass. Another quick inning. We like those, Clay.
5 pitches. Walker McDuffie still in the ballgame for North Carolina. 3 1/3 innings so far. No runs, 1 hit. He has struck out 6. Next one will be a career high. What a night he has had out of the bullpen.
Yeah, and his season long coming into this game has been 3 innings. He's done it a handful of times. He's been kind of, it seems like, capped at 3 innings, but it's been pretty low maintenance, so why not keep running them out there?
And that pitch has been good for him. That slider away. Walker Mitchell at the plate. It's Walker versus Walker. We had Jackson versus Jackson on the mound to start this game.
Yeah.
He's 0 for 1 tonight with a sacrifice.
And he's just at, you know, to me, the pitches and the stress of the pitches is more than the innings, right? Because not every inning is
low
created.
Stress.
Yeah, been very low stress. So his most pitches this year was 62 in a 3-inning span against Notre Dame.
Oh, that was tight. That was tight. Another strikeout. There it is, a career high 7 for Walker McDuffie. And again, we talked about it before, Chris. An uncharacteristic role for him. Generally, he's a back-of-the-game guy. Has to come in early because they don't have a typical schedule this weekend, so they're going to use him here early as they want to do. And look at the big smile on Walker's face.
Yeah, a little front door breaking ball. I'm not exactly sure that was by design. I think maybe the smile was a little bit of a sarcastic smile, like, hey, man, when it's your night, it's your night.
This is Rex Watson. RBI single in the first inning. He has driven in the only run for Coastal tonight. Tell you what, they have done a terrific job keeping Coastal off the bases. 3 hits tonight for the Chanticleers.
Again, it's the ability to dive 2 breaking balls to the opposite side of the plate. And you can't post numbers like this unless you have answers to both sides of the plate from a hitting standpoint, and McDuffie can turn it over to lefties and spin it to righties.
This one is charged to center. Hall getting back. It's off his glove. It's going to carry him all the way to the center field wall. Rounding third, slamming on the brakes is Watson. He'll be happy to stand at second with a double. I think it's going to be a double. We'll see how they score this. It did go off the glove of Hall, but that was going to be a really difficult catch with his back to the infield.
Yeah, it looked like the ball was kind of slicing on him a little bit, Clay, and he's there. It just looks like the ball kind of sliced behind his head just enough where he wasn't able to finish the catch with his eyes. It's going to go as a double, but I think that's a play Owen Hall would think he should make.
First base runner in scoring position since the 3rd inning for Coastal Carolina. And we'll see if Jackson Weiner can deliver. Two-way freshman. He's been doing the lion's share of the designated hitting lately for the Chanticleers. He has struck out twice tonight, once looking, once swinging.
Yeah, and he's going to keep getting a steady diet of those changeups, and that's just, as a young hitter, pitch selection process is learning how to identify a pitch that looks like it's going to be a strike, but then is going to fade off late. And again, sometimes the only answer to how you develop that is by failing. You get up there and you swing and miss, and you swing and miss, and then you go, you know what? That thing looks like it's a strike, and it's not. And then you learn how to put on the brakes and start spitting on a few of those, and that's how the growth happens. Good. That's how you do it right there.
McDuffie had retired 10 in a row before that double by Watson, and it very easily could have been caught.
Yes, but it was the first real loud contact we've seen.
3-1 to Weiner. That's a strike. Full count.
Just so impressed. So you throw the changeup and the fastball that look like they're both fading away. Then you start one off the plate and bring it back with a breaking ball. Man, is that tough for a left-handed hitter.
Walker McDuffie's 3-2 pitch. Popped up and back out of play. Walker McDuffie from Broadway, North Carolina, Lee County High School. Was freshman All-American last year. Appeared in a team-high 28 games. Has been used a ton again this year. 6-1, has 4 saves. And lost him. That one was a miss by McDuffie. Just didn't come out of the hand quite right, I don't think.
No, and I got to believe he's nearing the end of his rope. Again, now it's 54 pitches. 60 is his high on the season.
2 on, 1 out. We'll keep an eye on that dugout. Doesn't look like Ryan Gaines or Scott Forbes is going to make a move right now. Matthew Mateus is starting to warm up in the Carolina bullpen. This is Tazi at the plate now for Coastal with a chance to tie the game with a base hit. No, time is called. Here comes Brian Gaines. You know, we heard Kevin Schnall talk about his coaching staff, and that was real genuine, too.
Yeah.
It was not just because the lights were on him here tonight and he was on TV. He told us the very same thing, you know, in our conversations with him on the phone today. And Scott Forbes will say the same thing about his coaching staff, especially Brian Gaines and the guys who handle the pitching.
Well, yeah, Brian Gaines he's been as good as anybody in the country, really, but certainly the ACC here over the last few years. The Carolina program has really hung their hat on the pitching staff and leading the ACC again in ERA this year. Second in OPS allowed, first in home runs allowed. They've only allowed 29 home runs.
Yeah. Yeah, that ERA coming into the night, 3.53. It's top 10 in the nation, as you said, leading the conference. So after that conversation, 1-0 to Tazi. A walk and a pop out. This is line to left. Howe breaking in, won't get to it. Coming in is Watson. The throw is not in time. Tyler Howe with a great effort from left field. Put it right on the screws, but Watson slides in safely, and we're tied at 2.
Oh, what a throw right there by Tyler Howe on a ball that looked like it kind of got in on Tazi, and Howe charges and rifles it home. The hand gets in there ahead of the tag, and man, just when it looked like Walker McDuffie was bulletproof, a play wasn't made in center field, then a walk and a single. We got ourselves a brand new ball game.
I think they're looking at this. I don't think there's any doubt that Watson beat that throw. With that said, that was a hellacious throw from Howe. All of his momentum, of course, was coming in, and it was a bit of a short throw where he picked it up. With that said, boy, took no time to get into the catcher.
Yeah, but good job by Oxendine there to send him at third base, because that ball just wasn't hit very hard. So even though all those things were in his favor.
After every field is confirmed, the runner is safe. Clyde has 1 challenge remaining.
Yeah, even though all those things were in the left fielder Howe's favor, Oxendine knew the ball just wasn't hit hard enough to throw Watson out. And again, McDuffie silenced this offense for 3 1/3, but then they sneak up and get him, and that is a big-time hairdo right there.
He looks like he belongs in the Omaha Zoo.
Do you think that was like he woke up and somebody played a trick on him? Do you think?
No, I think he did that intentionally.
You think that's intentional? Okay.
Yeah, I do.
You do, you kid.
Yeah, I do. Well, he has just tied it up with that run, driven in by Tazi, who got the start behind the plate tonight for Coastal. And now Pato at the plate. 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts, and McDuffie starts in with 1 at the knees. Coastal Carolina, its first run since the first inning. McDuffie had a string of 10 in a row set down, and finally Coastal starting to get to him a little bit.
Yeah, the stuff just not quite as crisp. I mean, you can really see it. Interesting that Carolina has continued to stick with him.
One and two. Said it before, Pato could be an important piece for Coastal Carolina down the stretch. Hasn't had a great year at the plate, but we've seen him do some wonderful things in his time at Coastal Carolina.
They need him to be an
really do.
important piece.
2 on, 1 out. And McDuffie steps off the rubber. Blocked up nicely. By the way, looking at that sign behind home plate, you never hear about North Carolina peanuts. It's always Georgia peanuts.
Huh. I didn't know that.
I bet you never even thought about that.
Never did, Clay. And that's why I like hanging out with you.
I'm here for you.
Deep, deep thinker.
2-2 pitch. Strike him out. 2 down.
Well, there's that sweeper we've grown accustomed to seeing, and he got Pato last time on this exact same pitch.
Now batting for the
And
Chanticleers, the
Pato,
first
you could
baseman,
tell he
number
saw
11.
it, the offering before. Maybe he talked himself into thinking he was getting a fastball that at bat, but McDuffie pulls the string again, keeps adding to that career high. Now 8 strikeouts on the night.
So Pato has worn the collar here tonight, 0 for 3 with 3 Ks. Thorndike now, he has also been a strikeout victim. Had a base hit back in the 2nd inning. Weiner at second, Tazi at first with 2 outs. Yeah, you get the feeling that McDuffie has done after this inning. Get that feeling. And you know, if he can keep this to just 1 run here in the 6th tie game, what an effort.
No question. Yeah, no, you can't argue from a North Carolina standpoint the outing that McDuffie's given you in this one. How about
Oh, it's going to get through into center field. Rounding third, trying to score is Weiner. Here comes the throw. That one also not in time. Colby Thorndike, his 2nd hit tonight. His 13th run batted in gives Coastal the lead here in the 6th.
Colby Thorndike, we talked about it. Pato and Thorndike, they got to get these guys going. And Thorndike now with his 2nd base hit in the ball game. And again, Clay, it just feels weird that they've stuck with McDuffie. I know it's had moments here in the last few hitters where maybe he was going to get you through this inning, but it just feels like he's reached his limit, and they're gonna let him face Parengo here.
He's the 9-hole hitter, and he's hitless tonight. Remember, there are some really interesting options for North Carolina in the bullpen tonight, which includes Jason DeCaro, their Friday night ace. We were told by Scott Forbes that he would be in the offing tonight. Matthew Mateus currently warming up. He's 2nd on the team in appearances.
He's been down there.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's been
ready
there for a while.
Yeah,
for
he's ready. It's just a matter of when they choose to run him out there.
2-run inning for Coastal. Chanticleers have the lead again. Talked about the RPI for Coastal Carolina at 17. They're hoping for a top 8 national seed. Right now, D1Baseball.com projects that they're a host for the regionals, but not a top 8. Boy, this would look good on their resume.
Yes,
a win
would.
here in Chapel Hill. 1-2 to Barango. Ground ball. Should end the inning. Oh, eats up Schaffner. And everybody's safe. Jake Schaffner thought he had it. It rolled up on his belt. And now the bases are loaded. And back to the top of the order in Mijos.
Jake Schaffner had 2 errors on the year, Clay. And that ball, you said it, just kind of rolled up on his wrist. And if he'd have been a little more his wits about him, he could have picked that ball up and thrown it right to third base, anticipating that maybe the runner on second was taking a big turn. Still sticking with McDuffie.
Oh,
that?
What a break. Backhanded by Nicholson, steps on the bag, inning order. Mijos is out. And Coastal leaves him loaded in the 6th. Great outing by Walker McDuffie. Number 9, Coastal Carolina gets 2 in the top of the 6th inning to reclaim the lead 3-2. Tar Heels getting a 2-run homer. Cooper Nicholson back in the 2nd inning. That's the offense for the Heels. Pitching has been the story tonight. Walker McDuffie for the Tar Heels, 4 1/3, career high 8 strikeouts. The starter Jackson Smollett for Coastal Carolina turned in a good effort. 4 innings, gave up a couple of runs. So it'll be Gavin Gallagher to lead it off here for the Tar Heels, followed by Hall and Winslow. 2, 3, and 4 in the bottom of the 6th inning. He's Chris Burke. I'm Clay Matvick here at Boshamer Stadium in Chapel Hill on a beautiful Tuesday night. Trying to get the leadoff man on for the first time here is Carolina. Daniel Parker came on in relief last inning. Another true freshman. And he buries a strike. It's 1-1. What's impressed you the most about this game either way?
Well, I think the pitching has been spectacular on both sides. It hasn't been flawless by either group defensively, but I've really been impressed with every arm we've seen, which is kind of as advertised when you look at both of these teams' resume. But I think from the Coastal standpoint, especially the fact that it's been 2 freshmen has been super impressive. And honestly, Clay, there was a kind of an air of even at 2-1 that North Carolina was in full command of this game.
Yeah.
And Coastal just had other ideas. Second time around on Walker McDuffie and punch back. So it sets up, kind of feels like we're going to have ourselves a classic finish here.
I think there was some surprise that McDuffie came out last inning. Any thoughts that he comes out next inning?
I can't imagine. Mateus has just been up for too long. At some point, you got to put him in the game, don't you? I mean, he's been up there getting loose for a while.
He was fun to watch. He's done.
He's great.
Guess I'm not going to count him out. Gavin Gallagher at the plate. 3-2 pitch. Oh, looking at strike 3. 1 down here in the 6th.
You know, that's just a surprising take from the veteran hitter. A pretty good looking fastball to hit there on a 3-2 count as we take a look here at the top 25 in the ACC, a conference that continues to produce College World Series participants, and there's certainly the 2 at the top of the list. You feel really good as favorites to get back to Omaha. If Miles Bailey was healthy, I would feel a whole lot better about Florida State. You just wonder, is there enough offense there?
Yeah, now they're coming off a bad weekend. Of course, they got swept. With that said, you know, it's impressive how good they have been without him for so long.
Yeah.
He's done for the year, of course. So
yeah, you just
they're
wonder,
not getting him back.
Can they sustain that, especially as the weather gets warm and offense becomes, it feels like, more important. But Boston College is a fantastic story. Their pitching staff is right there with Carolina at the top of the Atlantic Coast Conference. And then Virginia has been kind of an enigma this year. It's a team that beat Carolina in their building and almost swept them. And now they're just kind of playing with their food here, dealing with some injuries.
Coming out getting swept over the weekend at Pitt. Pitt, a team that is charging now in the ACC. Cavaliers, they're just dinged up.
They are. You know, you got 2 first-rounders that didn't play last weekend.
Owen Hall checks his swing. 2-2 here for the center fielder, who has hit a ball hard not once but twice, and both times at Blagan Pato in left field. Nothing to show for it yet, but you get a feeling like he's going to be heard from yet before the night's over.
Yeah, it just feels like he's locked in, especially from a swing decision standpoint.
2-2. Breaking ball, peeled back foul. Owen Hall replaced Kane Kepley in center field. Kepley, a really talented player drafted by the Cubs in the 2nd round last year, knew that this job was going to be open, and that was one of the main reasons he decided on North Carolina. He would have had some other suitors, no doubt, but he made a decision early to come here.
Yeah, come here and had a chance to play center field.
Strikes out. Owen Hall 0 for 3 tonight. Daniel Parker, back-to-back strikeouts here in the 6th.
Sure these guys are freshmen? I mean, they're just coming in, sticking their chest out against one of the best teams in America. Daniel Parker, this Coastal Carolina staff, you think they can recruit? I mean, the arm talent that this program has produced over the last couple years is just so impressive.
Parker misses down to Winslow, who has struck out twice tonight. Against Jackson Smollett's now facing Parker for the first time. Walker Mitchell. He's made a few plays look routine tonight. Another one that wasn't. As that is smoked by Winslow. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Daniel Parker.
This is awfully pretty. Walker Mitchell with just a smooth slide, a flip of the hips, and a strike across the diamond.
Duffy faced 19 batters tonight. He struck out a career-high 8 of them.
Yeah, and he was, boy, was he razor sharp the first time through the order. Second time it got a little wobbly, but he had the changeup, the sweeper, fastball command was great. He was working ahead in the count. And a season long in innings pitched and pitches thrown. Got just a little wobbly on him down the stretch, but still awfully impressive. 8 Ks and 4 1/3.
And we can officially say he's out of the game.
He now is out of the game.
And Matthew Mateus has thrown like 4 innings already tonight, all from the bullpen. Like you said, he's been up for a while. He's finally going to break into this one. Here in the 7th, he'll face Barthol, Mitchell, and Watson, 2, 3, and 4 to start.
Yeah, fastball, cutter, curveball from Mateus, who's known for his off-speed deliveries. Just the 5 walks in 22 innings. A premium strike thrower as well.
This one is charged to the gap. Barthol is going to have extra bases. Now Coastal Carolina greets Matthew Mateus, Rulli. 1 pitch and a double here to start the 7th.
Looked like maybe a hanging cutter. Clay looked like 87 mile an hour trying to go in on the hands of Barthol with the cutter, and that thing just kind of hovers in the middle of the plate, and that thing is launched out to the gap in left center field as Coastal trying to add on to this lead.
Power numbers are down for Barthol this year, but again, doing so many things well that just aren't reflected in the batting average. He's already got a sacrifice tonight. And now here's a sacrifice attempt for Mitchell.
Oh boy.
And that's a high throw, safe. Runners at the corners, nobody out for Coastal here in the 7th.
Well, and this is a big part of their game. You're not only moving the runner, Clay, you're making pitchers play catch at first base. And the truth is, a lot of them are not very comfortable doing that. Just a perfectly executed bunt softly out in front of home plate. Mateus can't play catch at first base, and now 1st and 3rd, nobody out.
And Rex Watson will come up. He is the home run leader for Coastal Carolina. An RBI single in the first, a double and a run scored in the sixth. He is 2 for 3, and now time is called. They're going to rule that a hit for Walker Mitchell, by the way. "11 homers on the year for Watson." Smashes this one to left center field. It has a chance. It's going to get off the top of the wall. Barthel comes in. Stopping at third is Mitchell. That was very close to being a 3-run homer for Watson. Boy, he came into the game, Berkey, in a bit of a slump.
Yeah.
Showing all kinds of signs of breaking out of it here tonight.
There goes that slump. I mean, that ball was hit on the same trajectory as Barthel's that looked like a no-doubt double. And this one kind of had me thinking the same thing until it put a dent in the wall. I thought, man, that thing just missed, as you said, being a 3-run homer by just a couple feet. And boy, this Coastal offense is wide awake now.
Look at that first 5 innings, 3 hits. They've had 6 since, and now lead it 4-2. 3 hits in the inning against Mateus, who hasn't fooled anybody yet.
Cutter's just not doing much, Clay. Pitch that he throws about a third of the time. Just keeps kind of sitting there in the middle of the plate.
Another regularly used reliever, and it's Folger Boaz, left-hander. Left-hander Jackson Rose started the game. They've had a couple of righties in there since. McDuffie, who was great. Mateus now, who is struggling so far. Might go back to a left-hander.
Yeah, Boaz, who's also served in the role as Sunday starter for this club for most of the season. Looks like that'll be it.
Scott Forbes is going to make a pitching change. Not his night. Captain Matthew Mateus faces 3 batters, unable to get it out here in the 7th inning. Coastal Carolina has a run in so far in the inning and looking for more. Pitching change in Chapel Hill.
The real fun just getting started.
Run straight for the breakaway.
The celebration is on.
2026 College World Series starts June 12th in Omaha. We will have you covered on the networks. Scott Forbes took Carolina to the College World Series a couple of years ago. Coastal, of course, national runners-up last year. Here's the top 10, and you can see North Carolina #2 in the country, Coastal #9 in the nation. in the latest top 25. This is not your typical Tuesday midweek game, and Coastal now has a 4-2 lead. Folger Boaz in the game, another left-hander for North Carolina. 2 on, nobody out, and this is going to get into right field for a base hit. Walker Mitchell comes home. 2 runs are going to score as Watson crosses the plate. 2-run base knock for Jackson Weiner. 4 straight hits for the Chanticleers here in the 7th.
Well, this ball carried Clay about 1.5 foot off the bat. I mean, that ball, watch where this ball bounces. I mean, that ball bounced, you know, 3 feet in front of home plate and flies all the way to the grass. Just a chopper in front of home plate for a 2 RBI single, and the Chants will take it.
There's Matthew Mateus, who was taken out after facing 3 hitters and not able to get 1 out.
Boy, this game, it was 2-1. Walker McDuffie was so on cruise control.
He retired 10 in a row at one point.
With almost no effort. The Coastal offense, let's be honest, looked a little sleepy, but of course it was because McDuffie was just cruising. We knew Carolina had all kind of their horses stacked up. It just kind of had that feeling like Carolina was going to take care of business tonight, and man, this thing has flipped in a heartbeat.
Folger Boaz, Pilot Mountain, North Carolina, junior left-hander, making his 12th appearance on the year, and he is the 4th pitcher of the night for North Carolina. Caden Glauber, one of their best relievers, not available. He pitched extensively on the weekend, so we won't see him tonight. We've mentioned this a few times. Jason DeCaro, their Friday night ace, would be available in some kind of a relief role. I think Scott Forbes is just waiting for the right situation to bring him in. And now Seagraves, another right-hander, is getting loose.
Well, I wonder if DeCaro would pitch if they're behind like this. Something tells me he may not.
Possibility. Taylor is pinch running for Coastal Carolina. Jackson Weiner's DH spot. Taylor in the game. And we're going to get a pinch hitter here for Coastal Carolina. Bryce Eastep is going to hit in Tazi's spot, so catcher for catcher. And Eastep has been fantastic this year behind the plate. And also very good at the plate. And 7 home runs on the year. This is going to get away from Winslow. Off to second base goes Taylor. And this inning has started to really fall apart for North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, it started off with a bang from the Coastal perspective, and now it's just kind of unraveling here for Carolina. And that'll be it for Folger Boaz. And this is what I was talking about earlier, Clay. I would love to see college baseball go to the 3-batter minimum. I just think it would be so good for our sport. I understand what the managers are doing. These head coaches are going to try to manage the game tit for tat, but it just, how the pace of this game was just rolling, and then you get in these later innings and it starts going matchup time. You just like to see these young guys work 3 batters at a time like they do in the Major League game. I just think it would be awesome for our sport.
Let me ask you this. Do you anticipate that change coming, or do you think that's a pipe dream?
Maybe if you and I can talk about it enough, you know. Maybe we can pull it
I don't
off.
have the cachet. Nobody listens to me. Now this Coastal Carolina offense with 4 hits in the 7th inning, and they have produced 3 runs. Now lead it 6-2. They are going to see their 3rd pitcher here of the 7th. Mateus was in, only threw 3 pitches. Folger Boaz threw just 2 pitches, and now here comes Cam Seagraves.
Yeah, Cam Seagraves, the sophomore right-hander, making his appearance into this ball game. As he needs to put out the fire, because things have not been going well here for the Tar Heels of late. Been very effective against right-handed hitters. Righties are just hitting 133 off Seagraves this year.
Bryce Estep, the pinch hitter, thought he was going to face Boaz, but now facing Seagraves. Gets the bunt down, forcing the pitcher fresh into the game to make a tough play. And slipped a little bit out in front of the mound, but Seagraves able to throw out Estep. Taylor goes over to 3rd base.
Clay, is that the 2nd time we've seen him slip right on that exact spot? You can tell they're trying to kind of repair that area. It looks like a heavy sand. Watch, his foot's going to get in the ground right there on that sand again, Clay. And that's the exact same spot we saw Jackson Rose slip in earlier. See Coastal continuing to kind of exploit that part of the field.
3rd sack bunt tonight for the Chanticleers. They now have 55 on the year. Came into the night 2nd in the country in that category. Playing that small ball or schnall ball approach and getting it done. It's been a tough night at the plate for Blagan Pado, the left fielder. He has struck out 3 times. Infield in. And that's in the dirt. Winslow can't find it. Here comes another run, trying to score, and he does. The throw would have been in time, but Taylor scores. 4th run of the inning. Pitcher couldn't control it. I think it was there in time,
yes.
Marky.
Yeah, no, he's going to be out. If Seagraves catches this ball, he's going to be out. Bad feeling there from Winslow when you can't find the baseball, but he locates it quickly enough. You love the aggressiveness. I think the catch and the tag would have been on time, but the problem is you need the baseball.
What an inning for the Chanticleers.
The first 4 hitters reach and score.
So the base is empty now with 1 out. 3-0 count on Plato. Did I just say Play-Doh?
Yes,
Pay-Doh.
Let me tell you something. It's so easy to do. Blagan Pado.
I apologize to the Pado family. Walked him. Coastal has scored 6 runs here in the last 2 innings, and they have taken this game by the throat.
I mean, there's all the juice has left the building. Again, there was just an air of kind of Carolina being in control of this thing early in the ball game, and that couldn't be farther from the truth now.
Man on for Thorndike. He's had a good night. A couple of base hits, make it 3. Don't forget about the slump for Thorndike.
He had not had a multi-hit game since March 21st, Clay.
How about it?
So in 21 games, he had not had a multi-hit game, and now 3 knocks, and that'll make everybody around that Chanticleer dugout smile, because again, this is a young man that was a big part of their team that went to the finals last year.
This is what has happened in the 7th inning. If you're just joining us, this game was nip and tuck. 2-1, North Carolina leading heading into the 6th. And Coastal has opened it up with 6 runs in the last 2 innings, specifically here in the 7th. It has gotten out of control for the Tar Heels. They are going to use a 4th pitcher here in the 7th. Another change in Chapel Hill. ACC baseball presented by Auto Owners Insurance on Saturday afternoon. How about Boston College this year? The Eagles, number 20 in the country, one of the 5 ACC teams ranked in the top 25 this week. They will be at Clemson. Tigers having a down year. We'll see how this one turns out on Saturday. We hope you can join us. With Chris Burke, I'm Clay Matvick, and the Tar Heels wearing out a grass, spot between between the bullpen and the mound here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, they just keep flipping the ball to the next guy, trying to find somebody that can keep this Chanticleer offense at bay. Cameron Padgett making his 15th appearance on the year. So he had 21 hits in 20 innings, and he gets the opportunity, let's call it opportunity, to slow down this offense. It's about 70% fastballs. You'll see a changeup and a slider as well. See a big arm though, fastball up to 95, 96 miles an hour.
Yeah, hit 95 on that first one. That sits 97, and it's strike 2. I don't think that Ty Barango liked that call. It was an inside pitch called for a strike. As Padgett is trying to settle it down here. 2 on. Still just 1 out. 4 runs in this inning. Matthew Mateus started the inning. Folger Boas threw just 2 pitches. Cam Seagraves threw 7. Now Cameron Padgett. As all the momentum has shifted to Coastal Carolina. The 0-2 breaking ball. And that's going to find the outfield grass. Base hit for Barango. Howe comes up throwing. It's going to be cut off. And it's now 8-2.
Boy, the hit train just keeps on rolling. And now they flip the batting order here. They have.
Now batting for Coastal.
Now, would you call this batting around, or now everyone has hit?
I always said batting around.
Feels like batting around to me is when the 10th player comes up.
Okay, all right, fine.
You good with that?
Whatever
I've
you
changed
want.
my opinion on it lately.
I always thought, if you send everybody to play, you bat it around. Everybody got a round in.
Yeah, I feel like a round is like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like the first guy that started, but
Semantics.
That's right. Tomato, tomato.
Dean Mijos, the leadoff hitter. He's looking to get in on this hit parade and hits it hard. Could be 2, won't be. Snared by Paulson. Barango too quick for him. Gets back to first. So there are 2 outs. Mijos upset. That was a good piece of hitting. Drove it hard on a line, but right to Paulson.
Yeah, there's one guy every night when everybody else is finding every hole on the field. Somebody's hitting with bad luck. Nice job there by Barango to not get doubled off.
Blake Barthol led off the inning with a double. Winslow not in time to keep Thorndike from taking an extra base.
Just an awesome read right there. Great anticipation. See the ball down. Again, this Coastal team, they are going to take free bases every chance they get.
Blake Barthol 2 for 3. Had a sacrifice in the first inning. His 15th of the year, second most in the nation. Crushes this one. That's going to be a base hit. Another run will score as Thorndike comes in. Stopping at second, Barango. RBI for Barthol. His 2nd hit of the inning. And he has a 3-hit night.
2 hits in an inning. That just doesn't come around much in your life. So 2 hits in an inning, especially against the #1 pitching staff in the Atlantic Coast Conference. Boy, this Coastal team playing with a lot of confidence offensively now. If you'd have told me that 3 innings ago, I wouldn't have seen this coming.
13 hits for the Chanticleers now. 6 runs this inning. And they have opened this wide. Walker Mitchell reached on a bunt single here earlier this inning. Also has a sacrifice bunt tonight. Really good with the bat. As so many of these Chanticleers are, that's just what you got to be able to do when you play in this program. But now we're seeing them, use the entire field.
Yeah.
We've seen them bang it off the wall. We've seen them find the gap.
They have 10 hits in the last 2 innings, Clay.
We just haven't seen them leave the yard yet. You think that might be coming yet, too. Strikes out. Mitchell is done. The inning is over. But what an inning. As they send 11 to the plate. And as Chris would say, they batted around +1.
Well done.
Well, Coastal Carolina can brag about an amazing 7th inning where 11 batters came to the plate, scored 6 runs on 7 hits. He forced 3 pitching changes, faced 4 pitchers in the inning, and now have opened up a 9-2 lead. To do that at home is one thing, and especially in a midweek game against somebody that's not in the top 25, but you come into the #2 team in the country's house and do something like that, that's impressive.
And again, this is not their weekend arms, right? Rose is one of their guys. McDuffie's certainly one of their guys. Mateus has gotten a bunch of run on the weekends. Now, it's not Glauber, it's not Lynch or DeCaro, but still, these are some of the usual suspects. So, I think this is a big shot in the arm. And now you got this lead. You give the ball to your senior closer who's got an alien fastball, folks. This is one of the best swing and miss fastballs in the country, Darren Horn.
You a little surprised that Schnall is bringing him in a situation like this?
No, I think now that he's got a chance to get this win, he's just going to go ahead and nail it down.
And he doesn't mess around. He works efficiently. We've seen him do this before. He pounds the strike zone. It's a unique delivery.
Well, there's a lot of unique things about it, but in 42 innings, he has 62 Ks. And it's this little cutter and sinker. And again, average fastball velo, 87 miles an hour. Yet he gets a 40% whiff rate on it, which is just, it's literally at the top of the sport for a fastball. Look at that backdoor breaking ball. That is gnarly.
Quick work. Strikes out Eric Paulson. Darren Horn's off and running.
Start that thing off the edge and work it back. Again, you're thinking sinker. You're thinking anything that starts away is going to work away.
Cooper Nicholson has provided all of the offense for the North Carolina Tar Heels here tonight. 395-foot homer to left field back in the 2nd inning. His 11th of the year. So let's talk about Coastal Carolina. Now there's still a lot of game left, but if they do get this victory against the #2 team in the country on the road, you're talking that quad 1 win. How much can that actually enhance a resume? And they were projected earlier today by D1Baseball.com to be the number 10 national seed, so that wouldn't put them in that top 8. Could something like this jump them into that top 8, or is it going to take more work?
Yeah, no, I don't think just one win would do that. But it's also something. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's enough to get them in the top 8. But it's a pretty. You know, you still got what, 8 outs left to get, or I guess 7 outs now left to get. But it is a statement win. Again, I think the most important thing from where Kevin Schnall sits is just it's been just a really well played game, and the confidence it can give you to play like this against the number 2 team in the country. It's hard to quantify.
That's foul outside of first. Tyler Howe, left-handed hitter up there after back-to-back strikeouts by Darren Horn. Gets Paulson looking, gets Cooper Nicholson to go down on strikes. And man, wasting no time getting ahead of Howe. Nothing in 2. Strikes out the side in the 7th. Boy, he's going to toot his own horn after tonight. Darren Horn. Great start to his evening at the pen. Rex Watson, 3 hits tonight, couple of doubles, has driven in 2 for Coastal.
Yeah, he came in kind of scuffling over his last 10 games, hadn't had a long ball. Well, still no long balls, but they will take this kind of production. We had a dent in the left center field wall, a couple doubles, a single, and this is just a Coastal offense that is playing at a very high level. What did we get there, a little salsa dance?
I don't know what that was.
Play?
I like it, though.
Yeah.
7th career 3-hit game. Whatever he's doing, it's working.
Yeah.
I don't know. Coastal Carolina's going to have to start scouring Southern California for recruits more and more, because this transfer from the University of San Diego has been fantastic. New pitcher Jake Kakovic on the mound now for North Carolina. 7th pitcher to work tonight for the Tar Heels. What's probably going to get lost in all of this on this Tuesday night is Walker McDuffie's effort out of the Carolina pen. I mean, he was fantastic. Coastal Carolina really didn't have an answer for him through the better part of 5 innings. Through 69 pitches tonight, only gave up 2 runs, 4 hits, struck out a career high 8. But since he has left the game, it's just turned on its ear.
Well, I kept saying I was surprised they were sticking with him. I was surprised they were sticking with him. And I'm not saying this is the norm, but based on the way the bullpen has performed since he's left, you can kind of see why they stuck with him as long as they did, Clay.
Howe tracks it down on the warning track, so Rex Watson is out. And that has been hard to do tonight for the Tar Heels. They get Rex to sit down. First out of the 8th.
Now batting number 23, Jordan Taylor.
And so Jordan Taylor, who came in as a pinch runner back in the 7th, and came in to score, will hit here in the 5 spot for the first time. 247 hitter. Going to be a tough play. Nicholson won't have a play. Taylor moves well. That's why he was in the game in the first place.
Is it me, or is it really hard in front of home plate?
I think so.
We saw Weiner hit a ball in front of home plate that bounced all the way to the outfield. And now Jordan Taylor hits a ball that bounces right. Again, watch where this ball bounces and look how far it stays in the air. I mean, this is a really hard play against anybody, but especially against a runner like Taylor.
We saw them watering it down pretty hard before the game. And they did what they could, but it's still pretty hard.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, they clearly look. It still almost looks wet in front of home plate. But it's certainly not plain soft. You just don't usually see balls bounce there and stay in the air that long.
14 hits now for the Chanticleers. 8 in the last 2 innings. Estep fouls it off. Haven't talked enough about Estep. Got the night off to start the game, but came in last inning and then proceeded to drop down a very nice sacrifice. I mean, even your catchers have to be able to do the small ball thing.
That's right.
When you play for Coastal. That's close play, but Taylor's back.
Yeah, I was assuming when they brought him in the game it was because they liked the matchup, and then North Carolina went to the bullpen, and so Schnall just went right back to playing the inside game and had his catcher lay down a bunt. Of course, he did that flawlessly.
Bryce Estep, second on the team in homers. He has 7 on the year. He has homered in 2 of the last 4 conference games. And his offense has really taken a big step this year, coming off a 4-for-11 series against Texas State with a homer, 3 runs batted in. Texas State is a pretty good team too this year. They're definitely in the conversation for the national tournament. I think D1Baseball.com has them in the field of 64 right now. Ground ball to short. Going to get 1. Will they get 2? Yes, double play. And that ends the inning. We'll talk more about the Sun Belt Conference and what they might have to look forward to when it comes to the national tournament. I think they're going to review this. Yeah, indeed they are.
Tell you what, I thought he was out live, Clay.
I did too, but we'll see here.
It's the old 6-4-3 right here. Gallagher with a nice job after kind of a tough feed. A little closer than I thought.
Still think he's out.
Yeah, I still think he's out too. Yeah, I think that ball just barely squeaks in the glove of Paulson. But Clay, Texas State currently sits 10-11 in the Sun Belt.
Yeah, that's their biggest problem.
Yes,
they're good. They have a good RPI. It's 37. But D1 Baseball has them in right now. The last 4 in, one of the last 4 in. Arkansas State, first 4 out. Their RPI is also what has them in the conversation. App State is second in the league in standings, but the RPI is like 105 or something. So.
Yeah, and so much of that has to do with the schedule you play. App State tied with Southern Miss. Of course, Southern Miss was in the hosting conversation there for a while and isn't, I guess, totally out of it just yet.
I think right now they're still in that conversation, but The Sun Belt,
the call,
again,
the
very
field
good.
stands, the runner's out.
Yep, double play, it's going to stand up.
Challenge remaining.
So we played 7.5. North Carolina running out of outs. They're down 7 here in Chapel Hill. Quite a bit of teal in the audience here tonight. It's about 3 hours from Conway, Myrtle Beach area, South Carolina. 9-2, Coastal leading. It's number 9 versus number 2 as it happens. We were talking about D1Baseball.com's projections and the Sun Belt with Texas State. Right now, the last 4 in. Arkansas State first 4 out. NC State and Pitt from the ACC, they're both last 4 in, and they're still ahead on UNC's schedule here at the end of the regular season.
Yeah, you know, all that's so fascinating because there's, as much as it feels like we're right down the stretch, there's still a decent amount of games to be played. So many of these things can go a lot of different directions. But as far as those last 4 in, it just, you know, Texas State can a team with a around 500 record in the Sun Belt being at large pick, even though their RPI looks great? History tells us probably not.
Pinch hitter for North Carolina, Sawyer Black. Sophomore left-handed hitter from Oak Ridge. Hitting 77, no homers, 2 runs batted in. Getting an opportunity here in a game that's a little lopsided right now. North Carolina had a 2-1 lead for still really the balance of this game. You know, they felt like they were in control, even though it was a 1-run game, and then everything changed in the 6th and the 7th, especially the 7th. And the Chanticleers scored 6 times.
Yeah, that game changed everything.
Darren Horn struck out the side. He came in last inning. Ground ball right side. Barthol to first. And Black is retired to start the 8th inning. Darren Horn is a unique pitcher. We've talked about that. They have some key relievers, Ryan Lynch and Scott Doran, who've missed a lot of time this year with injury and getting back to health. Good to see that for Coastal Carolina. That's definitely going to help them as the postseason nears.
Yeah, I mean, we keep talking about it, but if this team gets healthy and they get a couple of those veterans playing at just a little bit higher level, it feels more likely than not that they're going to find their way back to Omaha.
2 down as Carter French grounds to short.
It's not an easy play by Barango. That's just one of those plays where once you don't charge it immediately, you're just sitting there waiting for the baseball to arrive, and then you have to make a perfect transfer and a strong throw. He made it look awfully smooth.
So Darren Horn has faced 5 hitters, struck out the first 3, now a couple of ground outs. And so you'll see Jake Schaffner, the leadoff man, for the first time. Schaffner 0 for 2 with a walk. Hit a liner back up the middle against Daniel Parker his last time up, and he does it again, this time against Horn. And he'll have a base hit to show for it. The last time Daniel Parker, you'll remember, it was a comebacker strong. It looked like it was headed right for center field, but he snared it for a double play.
Schaffner continues to swing the bat at a high level. Finally squeaks one through for the night. Tough to keep a good man down too long.
2-out base hit. 5 hits now tonight for North Carolina. That's their first hit since a bunt single back in the 5th. Gallagher has one of those hits. You talked about Gallagher, how good he has been in the postseason the last couple of years. He was the MVP of the Chapel Hill Regional each of the last 2 years. And you played at college level, at the major league level. One guy can carry you sometimes.
Yeah, if he's talented enough to do what this guy did in the postseason, which is, you know, hit you 2 or 3 home runs in a week. Look at the OPS. I mean, that's just ridiculous. But
2,200. That's going to be foul.
He's that kind of talent, and that's why, you know, last year he had 17 home runs, so it's not act like he did it all in the postseason. But he's been so good on the biggest stage, similar to Stephen Milan at LSU, that you tend to every preseason expect an All-American type season, and for whatever reason he just hasn't been able to put that together. But there's always a lot of hope around Gavin Gallagher, just because he's shown the ability to carry this program throughout stretches of his career.
2 outs, the 1-2 doesn't chase. Gallagher wears that C on his uniform. He's captain for good reason. Leads by example as much as anything. 2-2 pitch. That's going to be a base hit. A little tap dance there by Schaffner to avoid getting hit. And North Carolina is showing signs of life here with 2 outs in the 8th inning.
Well, you flip the batting order over. Couple hard hit balls, one back through the middle, one to the backside. And now we get a little life from the crowd and a little noise in the building.
It's not easy to avoid getting hit by a screamer coming at you when you're on the base path.
Sometimes you feel like a duck out of water, because you're just not sure what the right move is.
Now a very dangerous Owen Hull at the plate. He feels like he's due. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He's hit a couple of balls hard. Nothing to show for his efforts.
Yeah, for him, 0 for 3 feels like a slump kind of year he's having.
Well, he's 0 for 3, and his batting average has only dropped a few points, still hitting .382. That's how good he has been this year. Big swing could change the feel of this game.
Yeah, a little 3-run homer here puts him within striking distance.
And Hull has started to come on in the way of the power numbers. Grand slam in the Georgia Tech series, homered in the Duke series. The 0-2 pitch. Chopped out in front of home plate. Horn throws to first, and he gets out of the inning. Shakes off the trouble. Carolina strands 2. We head to the 9th in Chapel Hill. Play-Master Chris Burke back here in Chapel Hill as we go to the 9th inning. Coastal Carolina's look ahead last 3 Sun Belt weekends at Georgia Southern, hosting Old Dominion, and then at Louisiana. A couple of non-cons in there as well. One against Clemson certainly stands out. As for North Carolina, they only have 2 conference weekends remaining. Pato to lead it off. Ooh, and he gets hit by a pitch. Kakovic drives it up around the shoulders on Pato, and he's smiling, so that's a good sign. So we talked about Carolina hosting Pitt, who has been playing well. That's on the schedule. That Duke game, that's a non-conference game. And then they still have a trip to North Carolina State before the conference tournament starts on May 19th. Both of these teams have had a really good year. Both of these teams in position to host. North Carolina in position to be a top 8 national seed right now. Thorndike gets the bunt down. Bad throw. Into foul territory. And now runners at second and third, and nobody out for the Chanticleers. They're not done inflicting damage on North Carolina here tonight.
Nope, they're going to keep doing and playing the way Coastal plays the game. And again, it's just 9-2. Maybe you're not expecting it. I don't think Nicholson was expecting it, but just doesn't get his best throw off right there. It just doesn't matter where they're at in the order, Clay.
Nope.
All these guys can execute at such a high level.
How about Thorndike? Has a 3-hit night, and coach asks him to bunt with a 9-2 lead.
Yep. Coastal way. We going hit in the air there?
Yes, sir. Ty Barango. RBI single his last time up. 1 for 4.
Sacking it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sack. Second and third, nobody out for Coastal Carolina. This is one of 2 top 25 head-to-head games tonight. The other one, number 10 Mississippi State and number 17 Ole Miss. They're playing a neutral site game in Pearl, Mississippi. And Mississippi State is leading that game in the 6th inning, in case you're interested. But again, this is something rare. You just don't always see these this late in the season. Head-to-head top 25s, top 10s.
Yeah.
You know, in a non-conference matchup. Ground ball, Paulson stops it. That's going to lead to another run. They'll win the race to the bag to get Barango. Over to third goes Thorndike. And another run scores for Coastal Carolina. It's 10-2.
So you see some of these teams will go on contact even with the infield in, Clay. Look at this. Infield in, he's still going on contact. So he's going to make him play catch. Why? Even if he's out at home there, you got first and third, and you can steal second base, and you're back where you started. So you're going to make the defense play catch under adverse circumstances. And didn't matter there because he had to leave his feet to catch the baseball, and they score standing up. But that's a great jump there by Blagan Pato, and Coastal just continues to execute in the small things.
Second run batted in by Barango tonight. Another run across for Coastal. They force another pitching change. Kakovic is out. D1Baseball.com, the projected national seeds in their field of 64, which was released earlier today. You see North Carolina, number 4 national seed, Coastal, right on the border of being a top 8. Any argument with what you see here, Chris Burke?
No, I wouldn't argue that. I mean, you could always jumble the numbers around a little bit, but I do think Kansas has earned their way to be a top 8. You look at what they're doing in the Big 12, and just they're beating Nebraska again tonight. Like that's a ball club playing with a ton of confidence.
Dan Fitzgerald, Minnesota native.
Is that right?
Yeah. He's doing a great job with the Jayhawks.
Excuse me, they're beating Wichita State tonight.
Okay.
Kansas State and Nebraska are playing tonight. Forgive me for that.
Boston Flannery coming in for the 12th time this year. Big, tall right-hander, 6'4", 230-pound junior from New York City. No, pardon me, New City, New York. 3rd year in the program.
That fastball up to 97 miles per hour.
Coastal has scored another run here in the 9th, and now this one down the line. Will this stay fair? It'll be caught for the 2nd out. Tagging and coming in is Thorndike. Mijos sent it into the corner in foul ground, tracked down by Carter French for the 2nd out, but it brings in the 11th run for Coastal Carolina.
Boy, 11 runs in a game against this Carolina pitching staff. That's something to hang your hat on. A heck of a play there by Carter French out in left field, just laying his body on the line, running into the wall right there. But this Coastal team, who was held at bay up until the 7th, and they have just exploded. Excuse me, the 6th.
So 2 outs for Barthol. He's had a really nice night. 3 hits, including a run batted in his last time up. So the SEC predicted to get 12 teams in, the ACC 9, Big 12 7. Big 10 Conference would get 4 teams in according to current projections. Conference USA would get 3, the American 3, and the Sun Belt, which is where Coastal Carolina plays, right now projected to get 3 teams in. Everyone else would get 1 team. Hit high, hit deep, still carrying, and
oh wow,
that's going to bounce off the wall. French can't make the catch. Karam's all the way back to the middle of the field, and Barthol is going to stop at 3rd with a triple. Owen Hall was out there. Carter French was the closest. Neither one of them can make the catch, and that almost snuck out of here.
Clay, that ball was in the air so long, I thought Barthol maybe could have gone for an inside the Parker. I mean, that ball was in the air forever, and for whatever reason, Hall doesn't go for it, Clay. I want to see my center fielder own that ball. He gets to the right center field wall and just kind of backs off and let Carter French try to finish it off. And man, at 11-2, don't you go for an inside the Parker there? Just let it rip.
If you're Chris Burke, of course you do.
Heck yeah, but third base coach is just merely a suggestion at that point.
And that is going to score a run as the ball gets away. Coming in is Barthol. Well, he doesn't get the inside the park home run, but he scores just moments later after that triple. The 15th hit of the night for Coastal Carolina, which ties a season high for the most hits given up by North Carolina this season. It has just been a rough last few innings here for the Tar Heels.
Up 2-1 headed to the top of the 6th, and now find themselves down 12-2.
Coastal Carolina is going to be a force to be reckoned with again in the postseason. You just see it coming, getting healthy at the right time. They know who they are. I would argue both of these teams know who they are for sure. They know their identity. They play it well. And the biggest thing with Coastal has been they haven't been healthy, but they're starting to come around now in that regard. Walker Mitchell fouls it back off of Joe Harris, the home plate umpire. That rattled his cage. Macon Winslow is concerned. about his buddy back there. Trainer comes out to check on. It's Terry Joe Brzezinski, who wants to know how he's doing.
Joe's not interested in the sympathy. Thank you, but let's play ball. He's
Yeah, he's done a good job tonight. We gave him a hard time.
Yeah,
we gave him a hard time early because of some of those late strikeout calls, but he's been entertaining.
Yeah, the physical motion was late. The call itself wasn't.
No. Here's another look at what Harris just ate. Ooh. Two balls and two strikes to Mitchell. Look out. Flannery throws that to the backstop.
That's where you go with your best Bob Uecker right there, Clay.
Just a bit of.
There it is. And I knew you'd kill it. You didn't really sell it, though. It was a little muted.
Hi again, all you friends of the feather. Another foul ball. Coastal Carolina, of course, went into that national championship series last year against LSU with a 26-game winning streak. That promptly came to an end, and Tigers won another national championship. It's been a tough year for the Bayou Bengals this year. Last chance for Carolina. It has gone south here the last few innings. Do they have some magic in them? They need 10. We'll be back in a minute. Well, a new pitcher for Coastal Carolina, trying to get 3 outs and get back to Conway with a big victory over a top 2 team. It'll be Ryan Lynch coming on, the senior from Washington State.
The other Ryan Lynch.
The other Ryan Lynch.
Depending on what side of the fence you stand on, there's a Ryan Lynch on each one of these clubs. Yeah, senior right-hander making his 13th appearance on the season. And this is a guy they got to get going. You talk to Kevin Schnall, and he just talks about the fact that they really feel like he can play a big part on their season, down the stretch, and they need to get him going. You see fastball, slider, curveball really leans heavily on the breaking balls.
You a little surprised tonight, you know, with North Carolina's offense. 6 hits tonight. They did have that 1 home run. Oh, here's your here's your comparison to Ryan Lynch's.
Yeah.
I don't want to jump ahead.
The Lynch's Ryan.
There's the other Ryan Lynch. Where's Carolina Blue, the sophomore from New Jersey. Both Ryan Lynch spelled the exact same way, and they're both pitchers.
And last year they I think participated in this game at the same time.
Pinch hitter Lee Sowers for Carolina. So North Carolina is scheduled to have another game tomorrow against Queens. Queens University from Charlotte. Weather permitting, it doesn't sound great. Chance of rain tomorrow. Because of the exams that are going on campus here, the Tar Heels don't have a full series this weekend. They're going to play Duke here on Sunday in a non-conference game.
Well, yeah, when you don't play again till Sunday and you lay a stinker out there like the Tar Heels have tonight, I'm sure they're excited about an opportunity to play tomorrow.
Sowers walks. I'm sure Kevin Schnall, even with a 10-run lead, doesn't like to see that. You don't like to walk the leadoff man when you've got plenty of cushion here. Just go in there and pump strikes.
Doesn't matter what the score is. You never want to walk the leadoff man.
Rob Kellis is going to bat here for Carolina. Ron Kellis, the 5th.
That goes back a ways.
It does. I was going to say 5 generations. That's over 100 years for sure.
That's pretty cool.
And it's a unique name. Boy, this is charged, but what a diving catch by Pato. How about you? Blagan Pato out there, leaves his feet, comes up with the grab.
And he kind of paying the price for it. Looks like he's all right, but put your body on the line in a 10-run ball game. Direct route for that one, and
ooh, and he barely caught it. He barely caught it.
Certain he needed to dive there, Clay, but hey, you can't win a Gold Glove on your feet.
No, you can't.
Write that down.
Thought that ball was hit better than it was. For Kellis. Perry Hargett now is going to pinch hit as well. Carolina's getting some bats in the ball game. 300 hitter, couple of runs batted in. Talking to Scott Forbes, and he said, you know, the biggest thing is we need to be playing our best ball at the right time. And you never like a loss, especially in a game that could be a matchup in the Super Regional round. Very easily, this could be what we see in about 7 weeks from now.
Could happen, for sure.
But with that said, there's so much time, and on balance, this has been a phenomenal year for North Carolina.
Yeah, I mean, one of these two teams would have to fall back a little bit for these two teams to end up matching up, because right now at 4-10, you know, those two paths don't cross. But if Carolina ended up at, what would that have to be, 7? Or if, you know, somehow Coastal back down the list a little bit, maybe it could happen. It is interesting. I think a talking point in the tournament this year that I find very interesting is, you know, they're gonna seed from 1 to 32 this year, and the seeding, the 16 to 32 are pods of 4, where there is going to be some regionality to how they pair those pods up. So 29 to 32 will all be stacked together, and potentially could end up in 1 versus 4. So it's like, you know, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. That being said, you know, the #1 team is not going to play the #17 team.
For instance, looking at D1Baseball.com right now, Texas is the 3 national seed. Arizona State is 32. They would have them matched up, kind of keep that regionalized. They did the same thing with North Carolina. They have them as a 4. East Carolina 29. So that's a regionalized matchup there in that round.
Yeah, so they're still going to think about geography, but they really do want it to be 1 versus 32, 2 versus 31. They want it to be that way. But if
as
there's
much as they can.
As much as they can, right.
Yeah. This is Michael McGinnis now pinch hitting with 2 outs. Two runs, 6 hits tonight for North Carolina. Those 2 runs came in the second on a home run. Hard hit ball by Nicholson, 108 miles per hour off the bat. But that's all the offense tonight for the Tar Heels.
Boy, Lynch is spinning that breaking ball tonight. That's what they want to see from him.
One and 2 to McGinnis. Tar Heels down to their last strike.
I just think it's long overdue, though, for the sport to have that kind of transparency around. Hey, man, if you're one of the top 4 seeds, especially, it shouldn't be a regional matchup in the Super Regional. Like, you should be getting one of the what's deemed to be lesser teams. Coastal Carolina certainly made a statement tonight, Clay. Boy, from the 6th inning on, they just put the gas pedal down. 15 hits, 12 runs. We saw a little bit of everything from the offense tonight. And a team that came in just 5-5 in their last 10 certainly played like a team that is going to compete for a national championship.
37th win. Excuse me, 31st win for Coastal. Just the 9th loss on the year for North Carolina. It was definitely a statement victory on the road tonight for the number 9 Chanticleers. Very well played for the visiting team. That's going to do it for Chris Burke. On Clay Matvick saying so long from Chapel Hill. All Chanticleers tonight in this head-to-head top 10 matchup.